Live on YouTube, let's go. I don't know if people are gonna watch this, but still, I'm here for it. Story games are my fave. We got a long lore lock-in, so chat, I'm recording. You guys know the drill by now. Say hello to YouTube. No TOS, no spam. Fergaro, I'll catch you around, buddy. I appreciate you. Have a great night. What are we doing? Hey, hi, hello, everybody, and welcome back. We've got some more God of War content here for you today, and this time we're here with a big one. This is God of War, the entire timeline, all the lore explained. It is a 2-hour and 44-minute video. It does involve everything from the very beginning of what Kratos' journey is, all the way to the end of what Ragnarok, I believe no Valhalla, because that was DLC added later on. The video is about a year old, but there's a lot of story to tell. Now, I've only played 2018 and Ragnarok. I've missed all the other PlayStation games 1 through 3, and I think there's some stuff as well. I know there's comics. I know there's a whole bunch of lore to explain, but unfortunately, I can't play those games right now, so this is how we're going to learn about them. I know Kratos' story is pretty messed up, but I don't know how messed up, or just exactly the details behind all of it. So we've got a long one here. Let's lock on in. 2 hours and 44 minutes plus all my yapping. Grab some popcorn, kick back, and let's get some and let's press play.
With God of War Ragnarok's PC release right around the corner, Suggestive Gaming figured now would be a perfect time to go back over the entire story of the franchise so far. You may recall that I already covered this series over 7 years ago, as well as the reboot 2 years ago. But this time, I'll be bringing everything together. If you need to catch up to play Ragnarok, I'll make sure to warn you where to stop. But if you...
So real quick, there is an entire section here, God of War Ragnarok, that is like a good hour long. I think everything from there. So he's talking about that as a catch-up to Ragnarok, but I believe he'll explain it later on as well. Boy, love your YouTube channel, Actually Peak. I appreciate you, Riley. I appreciate you. So, it feels fake even if it's not. I don't like his... You don't like his... What? Do we want a different one? I mean, there's a couple of them, but I don't think there's a whole lot in comparison. Do you want a different video? This is the best one I found, at least from what I could tell. I mean, what is this? 422, 507,000 views. 8, what's up? Welcome. No, I think we just listen to it. I mean, it is what it is. You'll have my voice to balance out his voice, if that makes sense. Although my voice could also be fake. It could be a voice changer. You guys just don't know it yet. You haven't been able to prove that wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I'm down to keep it going. That's a lot of views. It is a lot of views. Let me back. We're gonna start over. Fuck it. We're gonna start it over. Lock in. I'm not saying don't watch this. How it feels to me. Okay. It's very YouTuber-y, but I don't know how fake it like there's no way this guy goes around talking like that. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is. God of War lore. We're gonna press play. Expect the voice. Shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, I guess we'll wind that back. He is gonna talk about how this is for God of War Ragnarok coming. Like to get all your brain refreshed for this. We'll just press play. Fuck it. Kind of sounds like Home/Henry's to me. Kind of, in a way. All right.
With God of War Ragnarok's PC release right around the corner, Suggestive Gaming figured now would be a perfect time to go back over the entire story of the franchise so far. You may recall that I already covered this series over 7 years ago, as well as the reboot 2 years ago. But
how old is this game?
I'll be bringing everything together. If you need to catch up to play Ragnarok, I'll make sure to warn you where to stop. But if you want the whole story, I'll be covering it here, including Ragnarok and its DLC, Valhalla.
The first God of War game was 2005. What the hell? 21 years. He's talking about in response to the release of God of War Ragnarok coming, but there isn't like an hour-long section later over here, so it looks like he's editing this up into that Ragnarok, and then Ragnarok happens, explains the lore. He's also got... Is this Valhalla DLC? It is. What the hell? Does he have Valhalla in this? He does. Oh, he's literally got everything. That's crazy. This Ragnarok is a few years old. 2018 is obviously 8 years old. The original God of War, 2005. That's crazy.
Now, before we begin this massive journey, I would like to thank today's sponsor for making this video possible.
Not my sponsor.
Videos for me. It's just never
Factor?
Including option forward of your meal plan. And if you want to afford it, Factor, it's something to look Ben.
It is Factor.
While enjoy the code Suggestive50 to
get
50%
you know what?
off your
help him out. Why not?
And 20% off your next month of orders.
Yeah, the first one, Riley. The first one.
50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box.
Hey, I speak. Damn, you guys. He's just a normal guy, dude.
Now, without further ado.
Maybe it's just because you guys are. Sorry. Maybe it's just because you guys are so used to listening to me talk, you know what I'm saying? That's why you think this guy's voice weird. All right, chat, we're going to get back to the video. Welcome. I don't know why I moaned into the mic like that. I would like to apologize for that. It was weird. That was weird. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. We love this guy. He's giving us lore. That's all I need.
About God of War.
W God of War lore.
Please don't steal this one, Game Ranks. Our story begins with the primordials, the very first beings to come into existence.
True.
Fighting for control of their creation, Earth. This war ravages the world, and from the chaos, the three Furies are born from the rage and power of the battle.
Where I'm going to get confused on is what exactly aligns with actual Greek mythology, where they decide to split for, storytelling purposes, and also how do these different worlds of mythology exist? Those are kind of like my main things, other than Kratos' backstory. But obviously, we're going to press play. We're going to all of this looks gorgeous. Can I just say that right now? Yes, I can. It's my channel.
These formidable beings are then tasked with enforcing oaths and punishing those who dare to break them. Oranos, the primordial god of the sky and lord of the heavens,
What the hell was that? Dorothy! I don't even know. What is that? Is that a sticker? I don't think I've ever had. Is that a new thing on YouTube? Jewels? What is a jewel? Is this YouTube copying TikTok? Dorothy, thank you for the jewels. I appreciate you. I don't know what that is though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep star jewels. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. We're postponing everything. Thank you for all the jewels and the love. Sent star for 2 jewels. Dorothy, how's your day going? Chad, does anybody know what that is? A star, yes. What exactly is that, Dorothy, if you don't mind me asking? How does that work? Is that, might get Chaos Emerald next? True. I was thinking we get 120 of those and we go fight Bowser. You're welcome. I appreciate you. I don't know what that is. I thank you again, but I don't know what that is. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Fan funding? Sent star for 2 jewels. It's a super highlighted membership message. So if you change filters, filter will only ship in your home. What the fuck? Supports life? Holy, it just got fucking windy. You're welcome. You're welcome, smiley face. Smiley face back at you. I think it helps your channel. I just want to know exactly like what it is all. I don't know what it does. Yeah, that's my only thing is like, it's kind of vague. It was also a really loud alert. Can I say that? Love your videos on Instagram. I appreciate you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Instagram videos are fun. All the horror, spooky, scary stuff and whatnot. Absolutely. We're watching lore videos right now, so nothing like that, but still, it's close enough. Hold on. It's in the sky? Okay, listen, all of you guys, I'm trying to star on YouTube. What do means? Boom! Few different things depending on your channel membership badges, slang for creator. People often refer to successful YouTubers or influencers as YouTube stars. Shit! Hey, 19K subs, who is he, huh? A little 19,000? Little 19 bands? Who? Stars are a virtual currency on YouTube used by viewers to purchase animated digital GIFs during live streams. The feature is designed to gamify live interaction. It's like TikTok. You're our YouTube star. Hell yeah. That's all I ever want to be. It's a YouTube princess. True. Remember watching a reaction to the Pod Playtime songs? It's so peak. Pod Playtime songs, fire. Love them. Absolutely do love them. What are those God of War songs? I don't think I ever looked that up. Your cat is attacking you again. Tell your cat to keep going. Tell your cat live their life. That's the best time their cat's ever having right now. It's my first time on your channel. Well, welcome on in. Appreciate you. I appreciate you having you. We're watching a very long vlog video. I actually, chat. That alert was really loud. I think that's new to YouTube. I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I think that's new to YouTube, so I'm actually going to change that. It's super loud on my end. I don't know how it sounded for you guys, but it's insane. What's going on? I've watched too much TikTok is what I'm realizing. I've been on TikTok too many times. 213. Probably shouldn't say the rest of that. Probably. The God is keeping you humble. It's something like that. What's happening? It's not letting me log in. Love to see it. Glad we're here. This man is a goat. It was loud. It was loud. Okay, it was super loud for me. 3 hours later. It's not my fault. YouTube added new things that I didn't know about. I'm okay. I'm perfectly okay with the support. I'm not mad at support by any means. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot to me. But I do got to make it so it doesn't like destroy my head. Because it's just not letting me do anything. Let's log in real quick. Okay, never mind. It logged me out. So when you press log in on websites, sometimes it logs you out. Just in case you guys are wondering. Invalid email. Sick. I don't think that's the case at all, if I'm being honest with you. It's older than you it's older than you and I knowing each other critter. Wait, what? That was added November 2024. What the fuck? I have never gotten that before. That's my first time. Dorothy is giving the first star on chat, but I don't have alerts for that. I also don't know my own password, so there's that. That's also cool. This is ruining my day. Can I say that? Everything's fucked. It's just not logging in. This is me getting distracted when I'm cleaning. This is not me getting distracted. I don't understand how do we think this is me getting distracted? It's me changing an alert so it's not louder than fuck. It just happened. What do you mean? What do you mean? I've never seen it either. Yeah. Dorothy Vu, what the follow? Welcome to the stream. I don't know what's happening anymore. I can't log. It's just not letting me log in to Streamlabs at all or anything. So trying to log in doesn't even work anyways. So I outsourced my memory capacity for personal source to Google and feel weird about it. I know the password. It's just not letting me log in. Like I have the password and everything, and it's just saying no. So that's cool. So Streamlabs just isn't working, I guess. It's pissing me off now. Now it's pissing me off. It's even saying my password is just wrong. My password's not wrong. I know that for a fact. Oh, that makes sense. It just literally not letting me log in. So there's that. Okay, well, we're going to go on. Fuck it. We go on. We move on. We can't tell anything about it, so I don't think it's going to happen again anyways, but I'm going to press play. All right, I'm backing it up. That hurt my ears, but it's okay. It was support and it was love. And that's all that matters. Support and love is the best way to go. Press play.
Tasked with enforcing oaths and punishing those who dare to break them. Oranos, the primordial god of the sky and lord of the heavens, joins with Gaia, the primordial goddess of the earth, giving birth to several powerful entities. Among their offspring are the
It was actually meant to be that way? What the fuck is it? Am I missing? Okay, whoa. Okay, what is happening? Okay, so the screen's gonna go black, and then it's gonna stay that way for quite some time, and it's meant to be that way. Maybe an editing error, maybe me being dumb. I thought the video was just messed up. Why the screen? I don't even know. I was confused. He was just talking, but I thought maybe the video was done. Yo, Kendricks, welcome on in. How you doing? I'm gonna say we couldn't see another. I can't. Yeah, okay, we're gonna press play from here, and then we'll move on. And we're going to forget about everything that just happened the past 5 minutes. Life is good. We love everything. Thank you again, Dorothy. Welcome on in. Kendricks, Riley, you're the GOAT.
Beings are then tasked with enforcing oaths and punishing those who dare to break them. Oranos, the primordial god of the sky and lord of the heavens, joins with Gaia, the primordial...
Do you have a picture of Oranos or Gaia? Either one, a picture, that would be cool.
Primordial goddess of the earth, giving birth to several powerful entities.
True.
Among their offspring are the Hecatoncheires.
What the hell?
100 hands and 50 heads. And the Titans, a race of powerful deities who would eventually rise to rule over the earth. The Titans, led by Kronos, govern the world with immense power, shaping its very
Is that Gojo? They got Gojo in God of War lore? That's crazy. What? Knew it? You expect me not to relate that to Gojo. You're smoking crack if you think I wasn't doing that.
Foundation. However, a prophecy
little baby Gojo
that Kronos will be overthrown by one of his children. In an attempt to prevent this fate, Kronos devours each of his offspring at birth, but his wife, Rhea, saves their youngest son, Zeus, by hiding him away.
Oh.
When Zeus comes of age, he leads a rebellion against Kronos and the Titans, igniting a great war that leads him to create the Blade of Olympus.
Where is this from, if you don't mind me asking? Anybody who does know that. Because I have never seen Zeus in this way. Anytime I see Zeus, it's like the kickback, laid back, drinking some wine maybe, crazy beard, older than shit, still almighty, all powerful. But what is this? That's two names he said wrong now. We're going to forget the names as long as we kind of know. I think the main thing is like the plot and whatever else. We can mispronounce some stuff, you know? Sometimes we can spell things right or spell things wrong in a spelling bee that we do on a live stream every day as well. I think that's okay. I think I'm allowed to spell things wrong. Stop giving me shit for spelling things wrong. Sorry, we're going a little off track there. Probably the intro to the first game is my guess. Got you. That's not in God of War, so I don't know. Okay, that was my main thing. Was it in God of War or not? Okay, cool.
A powerful weapon that skews the battle in the gods' favor.
The Blade of Olympus.
The downfall and eternal punishment of the Titans. In
like the dinosaurs?
Great War, Zeus and the others emerge victorious and establish their reign as the Olympian gods, ruling from Mount Olympus, the highest peak in the world.
It's a whole different game.
Each god takes control of a specific domain, with Zeus leading them as king and commanding the skies and thunder, while Ares, the god of war, embodies the spirit of conflict and bloodshed.
Sweet.
When the Hecatoncheires Aegeon betrays an oath made to Zeus, the Furies claim their first victim. To make an example of Aegeon, the Furies petrify his body, transforming him into the prison of the damned, a jail to house those who dare to make the same mistake in the future.
That's hardcore. Using the corpse of somebody else to jail all the people who make the same mistake as that corpse, that's hardcore. Ever played Titanfall 2? I have not.
Over time, the Furies come under the influence of Ares, who persuades them to join his siege on Olympus. Believing their forces are too weak to challenge the Olympian gods directly, Alecto, the queen of the Furies, decides to bear a son with Ares, hoping to create a powerful warrior. This warrior, Orcos, however, proves to be a disappointment in Ares' eyes and is disowned. Despite this, the Furies decide to use Orcos as their oath keeper, binding him to their service and further solidifying their role as enforcers of divine law. With Ares still searching for the warrior who will help him overthrow Olympus, Zeus learns of a prophecy foretelling his death at the hands of one of his sons, a marked warrior. This prophecy eerily mirrors the one that doomed his own father. Alarmed by the prediction and aware of its potential to repeat history, Zeus tasks Ares with finding and eliminating this threat. Ares soon discovers one of Zeus's sons, Deimos, a young Spartan who bears a distinct birthmark covering his body, and storms the city to capture him. During the raid, Deimos' older brother and another son of Zeus's, a tough young Spartan named Kratos, bravely tries to defend him. However, Ares strikes Kratos down, leaving a scar over his right eye. As Ares prepares—
Oh my god. This is the same situation as always. Trying to prevent the prophecy creates some steps and some stepping stones that get you to the prophecy. So they made another mark through Ares punching him in the face. What the
to kill Kratos for his defiance, his sister, Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom, intervenes and convinces him to spare the boy. Deimos is then handed over to Thanatos.
That's where he got the mark from?
Death, in an attempt to prevent the prophecy and protect Zeus. Haunted by his failure to save his brother, Kratos vows never to falter like that again. As a symbol of both remembrance and resolve, Kratos tattoos a replica of Deimos' birthmark onto his own body, serving as a constant reminder of his lost brother and his
crazy.
Promise.
Also, seeing Kratos without the beard is very weird to me. Not bad. That boy got a jawline like crazy. He could chisel some statues with that shit. But the tattoo to remember your brother and all the bullshit, you can see why he hates gods, why he's the god killer. But
over the years, Kratos rises through the ranks to become a prominent leader in the Spartan army. Despite his fierce reputation on the battlefield, however, he shows a softer side as he falls in love with and soon marries a Spartan woman named Lysandra. Together, they have a daughter, Calliope, who becomes the light of Kratos' life. However, that light is nearly extinguished when Calliope contracts a devastating plague. The disease ravages her body, leaving her skin disfigured, and she's marked for death by the Spartan authorities.
Eesh.
The harsh decree is that she will be thrown into a chasm and left to die, a fate that Kratos cannot accept. Desperate to save his daughter, Kratos embarks on a perilous journey to find a cure. His only hope is ambrosia, a rare and mystical element said to possess extraordinary healing properties. What Kratos doesn't know is that the gods have their own twisted game at play. They wager on a race, each choosing a hero to be the first to claim the ambrosia. Ares, the god of war, sees potential in Kratos, likely because of their previous encounter where Kratos demonstrated his resilience and bravery. Ares chooses Kratos as his champion, setting him on a collision course with the other gods' chosen heroes. Kratos faces many formidable foes in his quest, each backed by a different god, but his most significant challenge comes when he encounters an army of barbarians led by their fierce leader, Ulrich.
I feel like just in a challenge against other people where death is on the line, being backed by the God of War is just an automatic plus. Get a few more points for that considering, Ares is used to this shit and wanting for people to battle and whatever, war, death, bloodshed, all that shit. But you're backed by the guy who his entire thing is fighting other people in mass, but still, same deal.
Ulrich, driven by a similar desperation, seeks the ambrosia to heal his own father. The two warriors clash in an epic battle that tests Kratos' strength, skill, and will to survive.
Wait, is this in the games as well? I need to know what is there early, in the games, and what is kind of just pre-told story before even God of War 1. Because as far as I'm aware, Kratos gets his powers from Ares, but I don't know when in the timeline that happens. Was he always just a badass and he kind of just fought as a normal Spartan for however long or whatever? It's probably going to get to that point and explain. But it would be something that I would like to wrap my head around, at least right now, for a bit.
Despite the odds and the loss of many of his men, Kratos emerges victorious, claiming the ambrosia as his prize.
W.
With the ambrosia in hand, Kratos returns to Sparta and heals his beloved Calliope, saving her life. His triumph does not go unnoticed, as upon his return, the king of Sparta honors Kratos with the title of captain.
Captain Kratos?
As captain of the Spartan army, Kratos leads his men to countless victories, his thirst for power growing with each battle, despite the concerns of his wife, Lysandra. His ambition drives him to greater acts of brutality, and eventually he faces a familiar foe, Ulrich, the barbarian king who still blames Kratos for the death of his father. In a fierce attack, Kratos and his men quickly find themselves overwhelmed by the barbarian army.
This looks like it would be pulled from the games. I don't remember anymore. Now, if these images are, I'm pretty sure they're not. The images look like they were from a comic or a book, maybe telling some of the pre-story of Kratos, or pre-game story of Kratos. That could very well be it. But this definitely looks like it's from the game. Either way, I'm locking on the story. It's kind of nice to know where stuff is from as we lock into the story, though.
With death looming at the hands of Ulrich, Kratos, in a moment of desperation, calls out to Ares, the god of war, pleading for help. Ares, still searching for a potential warrior to assist in overthrowing Olympus, sees Kratos as a prime candidate. Seizing the opportunity, Ares accepts Kratos' offer of loyalty and annihilates the barbarians, saving him. In return, Ares binds Kratos to his will by granting him the Blades of Chaos, fiery weapons forged in the underworld and chained to his forearms, symbolizing his eternal servitude to the god of war. Under Ares'
the blades are
command,
so sick.
Kratos becomes a ruthless instrument of destruction, slaying innocents, razing villages, and spreading chaos in the god's name.
Okay, I knew he was pretty messed up, but I thought messed up and he killed a lot of people who might have been maybe deserving or just bystanders. He just straight up murks her. Maybe I missaw something. Hold on.
Slaying innocents, razing villages, and spreading chaos in the god.
Well, goddamn. For what? What did she do? What was she crowd in line at the market? What the fuck? IRL Kratos is pretty different from the game lore. Yeah, I mean, this would be the same as like the MCU, you know, taking lore or taking mythological words. Dear God, this would be the same as the MCU taking the names of like Thor, Loki, Odin, all that stuff, and just kind of putting their own story on it. Like they'll stay true to a lot of the points, but obviously for the sake of the game or for the sake of making like the story go in a specific direction, they're going to change a lot as well. So I'm trying to, I would like to know that line, but at the same time, I'm more focused on the game lore itself because the mythology, as cool as it is, definitely more God of War focused. But I mean, either way, it's still cool to know all the characters and all the other little details that went into it that were still true to what the writing was trying to like. I cannot word today. I can't fucking word today. It would still be kind of cool to know where the writing stays true to the mythology. But I mean, like I said, I'm just mostly here for the God of War game content stuff. So we'll see where it goes, where it splits. Maybe he brings that up in the future as well. That is crazy. Just straight up murder.
Kratos loses more of his humanity, descending further into madness and bloodlust. His transformation into a ruthless warrior accelerates when Ares, driven by jealousy of his sister Athena, whom their father Zeus favors, orders Kratos to raid a village dedicated to her worship. Ignoring the warnings of an oracle who foretells of dark consequences, Kratos storms the village's temple, slaughtering everyone within.
Damn.
But,
oh my God, he's an asshole.
Kratos is horrified to discover that the bodies he has left in his wake belong to none other than his beloved wife Lysandra and his daughter Calliope.
Okay, we knew how they died. Is this... Oh my God, he killed... Oh, okay. Again, knew it was messed up. But he did it? Did they say that in Ragnarok, or am I tripping? I knew he talked about having a wife and daughter, and that blew my mind already. Because, I mean, this is, again, all pre-God of War 2018. I don't think he ever talks about actually killing them, does he? He might have told the story to Freya, is from what I'm remembering. But in this case, he just moseys on in and just murders. Again, the way I'm thinking about most of this stuff is like he got into a big fight or something, and buildings collapsed, and his wife died in the process, and he blames himself for that. But like outright killing him is not what I had envisioned. He did say he killed him, I think, but I don't outright thinking he like stabbed them. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference here. Bro got those 25 family bonus points. That's that's fucked. That's fucked. Again, I think my thought process was when he talked about it was them being like collateral damage of a battle. Not so much he quite literally slashed and diced him up. That's a whole different thing. He thought it was just his fault. Yeah, that's a whole different little bit. So, you know.
Ares, revealing his cruel deception, had secretly placed them in the temple, intending to sever Kratos' last ties to humanity and mold him into the perfect, emotionless warrior.
That's crazy.
Devastated
I would hate every god too.
Kratos leaves the bodies of his family to burn within the temple. As he exits, the oracle curses him,
kill her now,
binding the ashes of his wife and child to his skin.
I didn't even think about his skin color the whole time. He was just a normal dude. I remember someone saying something about like why he got his skin color, but I didn't like what the.
As a constant reminder of his tragic.
Yo, that's sick.
Turns Kratos' skin ghostly white, earning him the name the Ghost of Sparta.
The Ghost of Sparta name makes sense. Oh, dude, mind blown 10 times in the past 5 minutes. I knew he was covered in ash, but didn't know whose. Somebody came in and mentioned that was the case, that it was something due to killing his wife and his daughter, but I didn't know it was directly their ashes as well. So like, there's a lot of information that I've gotten little tidbits here and there, a little bit of vagueness to it or whatever else, but knowing the specific side behind it now is quite literally mind blowing. But also, that's fucked. That's fucked. He's wearing the ashes of his wife and skin. That is fucked.
Marking the beginning of his unrelenting
the
quest
Ghost
for
of Sparta.
Against the gods who he feels
kill her now.
Have now betrayed him.
I like how he just stood there and
Kratos then
accepted
sets
it.
out to break his bond with Ares, angering the god who orders the Furies to hunt him down and force him back into servitude. As Kratos searches for a way to sever his bond with Ares, he arrives in the abandoned Kira village. There, he is suddenly transported into an illusion, finding himself back in his home in Sparta. This vision, as it turns out, is part of the Furies' plan to weaken Kratos' mind, but he is soon awakened by Orcos, the disowned son of Ares and Alecto, the Queen of the Furies. Orcos, using Lyssandra's necklace and ring, helps Kratos break free from the illusion. Though initially skeptical, Kratos follows Orcos' advice to seek out the Oracle Aletheia in the Delphi Mountains, where he hopes to find a way to break his
The
oath.
gold makes me feel uncomfortable.
After reaching Delphi,
I don't know why, like the gold, like lodge in his skin just made me feel the heebie-jeebies for some reason. Plus 5 armor, wearing his wife and skin, wife and skin. Plus 5 armor to wearing his wife and kid. That is pretty fucking metal. I will say that.
Kratos encounters the mechanized remains of a massive slain serpent named Python.
What the
that
hell?
helps him navigate the treacherous terrain leading to the Oracle's temple. Inside, he confronts Castor and Pollux, brothers whose bodies were combined so Pollux, a demigod, could share his immortality with Castor. The twins refuse to allow Kratos to see the captured Aletheia unless he offers a worthy tribute, angering the Spartan and leading to an epic battle in which he kills Castor.
Oh my god!
As the Temple of Delphi crumbles around them.
Ow!
After retrieving the amulet of Ouroboros from the dead
That's what it feels like to like rip off a hangnail, just in case you guys were wondering.
brothers, a powerful artifact that can manipulate time, Kratos reaches the dying Oracle, whose eyes have been ripped out of her skull by the Furies, rendering her unable to use her prophetic powers. With her last breath, Aletheia reveals that Ares' ultimate plan is to mold Kratos into a warrior capable of overthrowing Zeus, so that Ares can claim the throne of Olympus for himself. She also tells Kratos that the only way to break his oath to Ares is to kill the Furies, the very beings who enforced that oath, and that the Eyes of Truth, a powerful relic located on the Isle of Delos, are the only way he'll be able to avoid their visions so that he can defeat them.
I do like the idea of gods in Greek mythology or Norse mythology, where they are gods, they are almighty powerful in certain aspects, but in others, they are definitely like pretty limited. Like the idea of a limited god makes it so cool to have a story like this, where they can be the most badass fighter there is, but sometimes you can do things out of their sight. You can betray them. They're not almighty, omnipotent. It makes for a really good God of War game, that's for sure.
With this knowledge,
What's up,
Kratos
Dahmer?
sets
Welcome.
out to Delos to search for the Eyes of Truth. Along the way, he encounters Orcos once again, who reveals that he is the son of Ares.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Look at this guy. He had gold shit wedged in him, and now that shit look gross. What is it? Tryptophobia?
Ares and Alecto, and that the Eyes of Truth are actually the stolen eyes of Aletheia. Despite the dangers ahead, Kratos boards a ship and makes his way to Delos.
Oh shit.
There, Kratos explores the ruins of the colossal statue of the god Apollo, but he is soon distracted by the Furies' illusions once again, this time finding himself in the city of Sparta. However, he quickly sees through their deception and confronts the Furies directly. In the ensuing battle, Kratos manages to sever the Fury Megaera's arm, but is ambushed by her sister Tisiphone, who attacks him with her pet bird, Daimon. Just as Kratos is about to defeat
Pet bird?
who attacks him with her pet bird, Daimon.
What in the oh, it is a bird. That shit looks everything in the early games is metal as fuck. It's like as edgy and but cool in the coolest way possible.
Just as Kratos is about to defeat Tisiphone, the Queen of the Furies, Alecto, in her monstrous sea serpent form, sinks the giant Apollo statue's lantern, which contains the Eyes of Truth, before returning to her human form to capture Kratos.
Oh shit.
While Alecto attempts to lure Kratos back to his oath with Ares with promises of godhood, he nonetheless refuses before Orcos arrives just in time to help him escape, teleporting him to a different part of the statue. Orcos gives Kratos the Oath Stone, a powerful relic that allows its bearer to create temporary clones of themselves. Using this and the amulet of Ouroboros, Kratos repairs the damaged statue of Apollo and raises the sunken lantern, finally reaching the Eyes of Truth. However, before Kratos can use the eyes, the Furies ambush him once again, stealing the relic and imprisoning him in the prison of the damned. within the petrified body of the Hecatoncheires, Aegeon. For the
So wait, what right now, how powerful is he? I guess it's kind of what I'm thinking. Because he's not godhood yet. He's not a god by any means. But he does have blades imbued with the power of a god, and he's just a Spartan soldier. So he's just he's like a superhuman with powerful magical weapons. Everything feels so random. It's like, I wouldn't say random, but it definitely, he's got to go, it is definitely a game-esque like style of, like, you have to go from point A to point B, but in order to do that, you have to go do this side quest to grab this item because point B needs C over here, or whatever the heck else. But that's storytelling in general. There's no way, of course they would not allow him to have a way to just go straight to Ares and fight Ares. He's going to have to do a bunch of different things, but that's why the game is the way it is, because there's a bunch of different side missions and stuff like that. So not quite random, but there's a lot of little bits that are probably just added for gameplay sense.
Following 2 weeks, Kratos endures relentless
It does look
torture
really good,
as
Riley.
the Furies try to break his will and force him back into Ares' service. Despite their efforts, Kratos remains defiant, swearing never to serve Ares again. When Megara arrives one day to continue his torture, Kratos seizes an opportunity to break free before pursuing her through the prison. During his escape, Kratos is once again subjected to the Furies' illusions, this time finding himself in a brothel where 3 women attempt to seduce him. Recognizing the deception,
he just body
Kratos
slams
attacks Megara and eventually defeats her after a brutal battle.
I was say this ends in somebody getting their head chopped off, but trying to like suplex or tackle one of them is even better, I think.
Reclaiming the amulet of
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Megara dead, I
Oh.
don't have to try to pronounce her name anymore, and Kratos continues his quest to defeat the remaining Furies.
I didn't even think about that. Wesker Ouroboros. Wait, what? Ouroboros meaning in English? An ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon devouring its own tail. Its name derives from Greek, translating roughly to tail devourer. At its core, the symbol represents the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. That's why Wesker named it that. Ouroboros. Yeah, Ouroboros. That's a lot of O's. That's 4 O's. Can we go and toss? If that gets tossed into the spelling bee at the beginning of stream, I'm fucked. Cool. That's awesome. That's cool. So Wesker had some Greek inspiration to it. That's dope.
Tisiphone and Alecto. As Kratos confronts the sisters, they subject him to more illusions, including visions of his past in Sparta and a reunion with his wife and daughter.
See, that's somebody who's smart. Instead of showing Kratos like random girls in a brothel, show the wife and daughter that he's going on a rampage for. Like, come on. Use a little bit of manipulation better here. Thank you.
The vision of Lysandra nearly deceives him. Kratos sees through the trickery and refuses Alecto's offer to live in a false reality with his family. Furious at his defiance, Alecto and Tisiphone
oh my god, did you guys see the crazy eyes there?
Family. Furious at his defiance, Alecto and...
Hold on. She mad? Oh, what happened here? I don't even know what I just did. I have no idea what it just... Oh, you know what? I give up on everything. If I hold this, what happens? Oh, shit. Sorry, I just really wanted to see the crazy eyes there. Wesker comes from God of War confirmed? Absolutely.
A false reality with his family. Furious at his defiance, Alecto and Tisiphone unleash
Dude, their eyes get so big,
creating a massive whirlpool illusion and transforming into monstrous forms. In one final battle, Kratos uses the Eyes of Truth to dispel the Furies' illusions, subduing Tisiphone's pet
punch that bird!
And forcing Alecto back
Fuck
into
it up!
human form.
Cut her head off now.
Tisiphone, in a desperate attempt to sway Kratos, transforms into Lysandra, but Kratos, undeterred, realizes the truth and strangles her.
Yeah, say at this point, now you're just gonna piss him off because he knows it's you. What are you gonna? He's gonna see you and like be like, oh, I guess I gotta stop. You know, no, he's gonna be even more mad. You're like, you're trying to fool me with my deceased wife right in front of me. Do you think I'm dumb?
In her final moments, Tisiphone poses as the oracle from Athena's
Oh, that's
village
funny. Now you piss him off
taunts
even more.
Kratos, causing him to snap her neck to finally kill
God.
the second Fury. Kratos then turns his sights on Alecto, stabbing her through the chest with his blades of chaos, ending her life and destroying the last of the Furies. With all 3 Furies defeated, Kratos returns to his home in Sparta, where he is met by Orcos. Orcos reveals that the Furies, before their demise, transferred Kratos' oath to him, meaning that the bond with Ares is still intact. Orcos, unwilling to continue living as an oath keeper, begs Kratos to grant him an honorable death.
Oh
Though
my
reluctant,
God.
Kratos ultimately complies, killing Orcos and finally severing his bond with Ares.
What is an
As Orcos
honorable
die-
death? Is it honorable? So this is so random. Is it like getting your head chopped off? That would not be an honorable death, right? That's like something that you would do to an enemy or like somebody who's betrayed the state or whatever. What is an honorable death? Because I know like samurai do it through the stomach. It just depends on where the area is. I'm curious. What is an honorable death in Sparta? Spartan culture. Is what is considered to dying on the battlefield while fighting? Oh yeah, I mean they're talking about dying on the battlefield, but I mean that's a whole different thing. I don't know how this would be considered. I think he killed in combat and stuff. Yeah, so they're talking. So if you Google it real quick, a dishonorable death as a Spartan is dying of natural causes or old age because that brings you no glory. That's crazy. Dying in battle is the most honorable way for a Spartan to die. That's crazy. But see, this isn't battle. It's just being killed by Kratos. Maybe not being killed by an enemy. No, I maybe it would be because he doesn't. I don't know. That I mean, we're sidebarring pretty hard here, but just curious. Just a little thought that popped in my head. He definitely didn't fight Kratos, and he's definitely not dying in like an actual battle. So I don't know what would make that different, but hey, I guess it's better than. Maybe it's just better than suicide, I guess, on his eyes. He lived a long, happy life. That's long, happy life, no go in Spartan culture. Absolutely not. Don't you even think about it.
Kratos' past, his killing of his wife and child, come flooding back, tormenting him once more. Now free from the Furies, but burdened by his past,
The furries.
Kratos burns his home with Orcos' body inside, before leaving Sparta and embarking on a new journey.
The real
to
disconnect.
atone for his sins and seek redemption.
Hell yeah. Fire music.
Tormented by the memories of his family's death and bound to the gods, Kratos continues to serve Olympus as their most loyal warrior, clinging to the hope that fulfilling their demands might one day free him from his nightmares.
Wait, I know we talked about God limitations. I guess that just means they don't know that he killed the Furies? That's kind of mind-blowing to me, no?
Today, the gods tasked
Seems a little
him with
random.
mission to defend the city of Attica from an invading Persian army. As the city burns, Kratos fights his way through the chaos, slaying
What's up,
Persian
Lucas?
soldiers as well as their leader, the Persian king. With the king defeated,
Damn.
Kratos then faces and conquers the Basilisk, a massive creature sent by the Persians to lay waste to Attica. However, Kratos' mission is far from over. As he vanquishes the Persian forces, the sun suddenly disappears from the sky, plunging the world
God,
into
what
darkness.
the? A little warning there.
With the light
Fuck.
fading, Kratos is drawn to the Temple of Helios, the last remaining beacon in the blackened world.
Oh, and this is where he chops off
On
Helios'
arrival,
head.
Kratos is greeted by Athena, who explains that Helios, the god of the sun, has mysteriously vanished. This disappearance has allowed Morpheus, the god of dreams, to shroud the world in a dark fog, putting the gods into a deep slumber and seizing control of Greece. Athena urges Kratos to find and rescue Helios, as only his return can dispel the darkness and reawaken the gods. Inside the temple, Kratos encounters Eos, the goddess of dawn and sister of Helios. Deeply concerned for her brother, Eos tasks Kratos with awakening Helios' fire steeds, powerful creatures capable of leading him to Helios' location. In return, Eos promises to help relieve Kratos of the haunting nightmares that plague him, nightmares that manifest as the melody his daughter Calliope once played on her flute. Kratos successfully awakens the fire steeds, which transport him to their master's location, the underworld.
So he did. So Valhalla talks about, or obviously as you play through Valhalla, you get Helios' head in place of Mimir, and you get to hear a lot of the backstory through that. But it's mostly Helios just pissed off at Kratos. So that's kind of like, it makes sense why you'd be so mad. But I think we found out there he didn't actually chop off his head; he ripped his head off. But when Kratos said he sought out his help, he made it seem like such a simple idea. But this is like there's a lot more layers to it, obviously.
Reaching the river Styx, Kratos meets Charon.
Like, he went through so much to get to Helios.
Charon, sensing that it is not yet Kratos' time, denies him passage. Undeterred, Kratos engages Charon in combat, but is overpowered and cast into Tartarus, the deepest abyss of the underworld where the Titans were imprisoned by Zeus after the Great War. In Tartarus, Kratos regains consciousness and discovers that Atlas, the Titan who was once chained there, has broken free. Determined to continue his mission, Kratos fights his way out of birds,
he's got something against birds.
Confronting and ultimately killing Charon in their second battle.
With the W death to Charon.
Ferryman defeated, Kratos commandeers Charon's ferry to follow
Charon. Charon? I don't know. I'm gonna call her. She's Charon to me.
At a mysterious temple.
Why that statue look like that?
Inside this temple, Kratos is shocked to see his daughter, Calliope, playing her flute. Kratos rushes to her, following her deeper into the temple, only to be confronted by Persephone, wife of the god Hades and queen of the underworld. Persephone reveals to Kratos that Calliope resides in the Elysium Fields, a paradise for pure souls. She offers Kratos a chance to be with his daughter again, but at a great cost. He must renounce all the powers and weapons given to him by the gods. Desperate to see his daughter, Kratos agrees, transferring his powers into the Forsaken Tree and regaining his humanity. Reunited with Calliope in the Elysium Fields, Kratos feels a fleeting sense of peace. However, this reunion is quickly shattered when Persephone arrives to reveal her true intentions. She confesses that she was the one who freed Atlas, enlisting him to destroy the Pillar of the World, the structure that holds the world as well as Olympus with it.
Are there any good gods in Greek mythology? I know, again, this is not following in line with the specific mythology from the culture itself. But why, dude, you got so much power. Kick back, sip some wine, eat some grapes. Maybe have your little orgy session that you guys do. Fuck, dude, just chill, bro, chill.
Persephone's goal is to bring about the end of the world.
Persephone was nice?
Okay. To free herself from her prison as Hades' wife.
There's so much drama, for real.
With the destruction of the world,
like, kick back, bro. You're telling me they don't got a 75-inch Samsung TV somewhere on a wall where they could just sit back, drink a brewski with a broski? Huh? Watch some foosball? Huh? Huh? They're okay gods, but good is maybe a bit far. It seems like the best you get when it comes to any of these gods is okay. They all get greedy in some aspect. Whether they want a little more land or a little more money, a little more women like Zeus, like, they're always creating problems. Like, if I had even a fraction of their power, I'm chilling. I really am.
A heartbreaking decision. He painfully abandons Calliope once more.
Oh my God.
Reclaiming his powers.
Hold on.
He painfully abandons Calliope.
Dude. Wow. Is this also his real daughter, is it not? Like, they are in the actual underworld. This is his real daughter. This isn't a hallucination or an illusion by any means. He's grabbing his daughter and saying, "Get off me, little bitch." Sorry, not little bitch. That's a bad word. Little fuck face. So I couldn't get there.
Calliope once more.
Power makes people bored. True.
Transforming back into the ghost.
When you've got it all, you get a little bored.
His daughter's pleas, Kratos sets off to stop Persephone and save the world.
True. Leave his kid to save the world.
To the base of the Pillar of the World, where the pair engage in battle, during which Persephone commands Atlas to intervene.
Atlas schmatlas.
Kratos chains Atlas to the ceiling of the underworld, forcing him to hold up the world before returning to confront Persephone. Despite her immense power, Kratos overpowers her and finally delivers a mortal blow. In her final breath, Persephone tells the Spartan that his suffering will never end, before her body releases a massive explosion that destroys the Pillar of the World, leaving Atlas as the sole force holding the Earth in place.
That's sick. We got there eventually, and that's what counts.
In the wake of the battle,
he's mad as fuck now.
Leaves Kratos with a warning that perhaps the gods of Olympus aren't the allies he believes they are. Kratos accepts his servitude to them regardless, knowing that it's his only path that may free him from his nightmares. Before they part, Atlas states that the fates have dictated that they'll meet again, and one day, Kratos will regret his actions. Weakened and burdened by the knowledge that his sins will forever prevent him from seeing his daughter again, Kratos returns Helios to the sky, restoring light to the world. Exhausted.
Wait, I missed that. Where was Helios at? In the underworld? I'm dumb. Can somebody help me out here? I'm sorry. There was a lot of flashy stuff going on. I got flashbang like 3 times. I'm pretty sure it's the Men in Black like beep beep thing.
Kratos falls from
What
the
are his
sun
nightmares?
chariot, but
His nightmares are killing his own wife and daughter with his own blades because he was tricked by Ares. So there's that. Had his head, I think. Well, I don't even know where he got it from. I know he ripped off his head, but I don't remember where he got it from.
to Helios, he lands safely on a cliff overlooking the Aegean
W.
Sea, where
Helios.
his equipment is stripped from him as he lays passed out, awaiting his next task.
Uh-oh. What might that be?
Sometime after waking from his previous ordeals, Kratos is sent by the gods to kill a Hydra that has been terrorizing sailors in the Aegean Sea. The Hydra, with its many heads and regenerative abilities, proves to be a tough challenge, but Kratos slays each head. The
How does a
battle
Hydra
ends with
die?
Kratos impaling the Hydra's largest head on the mast of the ship, restoring peace to the waters.
We're taking a lot of sidebars here. That's okay, because it's my channel. I do what I want. How do Hydras die Greek mythology? Because how... I know. I mean, the Hydra is constantly getting heads, right? Greek mythology, because 2 new heads need to grow back every time. It was burn the neck stumps with fire. Wow, burn the head stumps. Yeah, okay. So what he's doing here, I mean, you could have had him do that. I don't know if he actually does that in the game. He very much could. My thought was the body as well, Neon. I thought you just go after the body and you try and mess that up, and the heads regrow, but does the body regrow type deal? But he has the power of like fire blades. He could definitely burn the stumps. But that's interesting. I like that. That's cool.
This victory, like all of his others, however, turns out to be fleeting, as Kratos' haunting nightmares overshadow any possible joy inside of him.
True.
One day, Athena appears before Kratos once again, this time with a chance for redemption. She tells him that Ares has begun waging war on her city of Athens, and that Zeus, as king of the gods, has forbidden any direct interference from the Olympians. However, Athena offers Kratos a deal. If he can defeat the god of war, the gods will finally forgive his past, ridding him of his nightmares. Kratos accepts this task before setting out on his journey to save Athens and perhaps himself.
So he's now been helped by Ares and Athena. He's the champion of both at this point. He's dealt with Persephone. He's had Helios he's helped Helios. I don't know how far he's really gone into detail with like his interactions with that god. I might have missed a couple things, but he's just going across the entire roster and just seeing what's up. He's like, "How you doing? What's up? I'm Kratos."
Kratos reaches Athens and fights his way through the war-torn streets, battling Ares' monstrous minions before meeting a strange gravedigger who refers to him as my son, while digging a grave for him. After Kratos saves the city's oracle, she informs him that the only way to kill a god is to wield a weapon of immense power, Pandora's box, a mythical artifact hidden deep within Pandora's temple. A massive structure chained to the back of the Titan Kronos, now cursed to wander the desert of lost souls. Kratos embarks on a treacherous journey to find the temple, avoiding the siren song while navigating through the dangerous desert of lost souls. Eventually, he finds Kronos and climbs onto the Titan's back before entering the temple.
Dude, this got to be like the worst like mythology to be dead in. There's just like lost souls, there's like 30 different variations of being lost and just wandering forever and being stuck in limbo between life and death.
Inside, Kratos faces deadly trials and puzzles, each more dangerous than the last. One of these trials, as it turns out, includes sacrificing a living captive. Kratos finds a man
going from
inside of a cage
2018 to this
and
is
pushes him
crazy.
into the chamber of sacrifice, where the cage is then placed between.
This is Valhalla. Oh, shit. He chose that. Oh, my God. That's why he did it initially with Helios in Valhalla, and then he puts himself in there because he's like,
burners.
Sick.
Kratos
Cool.
ruthlessly pulls a lever, activating
That's
the burners,
fucked.
killing the sacrifice, and allowing him to continue. Finally,
Damn.
after much hardship, Kratos reaches Pandora's box. As Kratos prepares to claim the box, however, Ares senses the danger and hurls a
Ares looks
column
insane.
like a massive spear from Athens, impaling Kratos and killing him instantly.
Oh, fuck.
Ares' minions then carry Pandora's box away, thinking that their master's victory is now assured.
Damn!
Unfortunately for them,
All up
however,
in Kratos' guts.
Kratos is literally too angry to die. His soul descends into the underworld, but he fights his way back to the land of the living, escaping the clutches of Hades' realm through the grave dug for him by the mysterious gravedigger.
Gravedigger. Oh my god, there's just a crazy guy on crack doing a little feint. But no, he was an oracle.
And driven by vengeance, Kratos returns to Athens, determined to retrieve Pandora's
That's
box
sick.
and bring
That's
an
so
end to
sick.
the god of war's reign. Kratos catches up to Ares and frees Pandora's box from the god's clutches, opening it to unleash its immense power. Empowered by the box, Kratos grows to a godly size, becoming a match for Ares.
Kaiju battle?
In a titanic battle that shakes the very foundations of Athens, Kratos fights the god who betrayed him one-on-one. The fight is
Why does
brutal and
Kratos have
intense,
claws?
with Ares
Or
using every trick
Ares.
at his disposal to break Kratos' spirit, even forcing him to relive the horrible acts he once tricked the Spartan into committing against his own family. Kratos resists Ares' illusion, however, forcing the god to tear the blades of chaos from Kratos' arms and murder the illusion of his family before him. Freed from the vision, Kratos spots a massive sword used as an ornamental bridge and seizes it. After one more climactic battle, Kratos uses
That's
this blade
crazy.
of the gods
Well, dude,
to finally kill the god of war.
Is that not the blade of Olympus? Am I tripping?
Ares' reign of terror.
It
With
looks the
Ares
same.
dead, Athens is saved, and Kratos has fulfilled his part of the bargain. When Kratos turns to Athena, she forgives his sins, but explains that no man nor God could ever forget the heinous acts he's committed.
All of them lying assholes. Like, fuck. No, it was a bridge. I mean, it looked like the same blade. I guess my knowledge of this universe is pretty limited. Would killing Ares just be a net positive for a god of war being gone? You know, like, is it just now the world's a better place? Like, war is less likely to happen, or is it? I don't think that's how it really works. Right? I know usually there's somebody who incites war, like they try to manipulate and cause things to happen, but I feel like just human nature is still going to be on the front lines for bad shit happening, especially war in a place like this.
She claims that while Kratos has
But I don't know if
served
that's the
them
case.
well, they cannot erase the nightmares that continue to torment him.
Yep, that's fucked.
Devastated by their
Lying
betrayal and
assholes.
seeing no other solution,
Kill them all.
Kratos climbs to the highest peak in Athens and, overwhelmed by despair, throws himself into the sea, hoping to end his suffering once and for all while listening to Dream On by Aerosmith. The gods have other plans for Kratos.
What
and
the
Athena
hell?
saves him, offering him a new purpose. With Ares' death, the throne of the god of war is now vacant.
How many times has he died and been brought back? This is like the third time, no? I guess technically he wasn't dead there, but they brought him back. They didn't let him die, so.
And the gods decide to bestow this title upon Kratos. Though the nightmares of his past still haunt him, Kratos ascends to Olympus, becoming
Sweet.
the new god of war.
W.
Now seated amongst the gods, Kratos is more powerful than ever, but his heart remains burdened by the darkness of his past. Still tormented,
Just not
by his
allowed to
memories,
die, yeah.
Kratos is haunted by the persistent vision of his mother, Callisto, and he decides to seek her out, against Athena's wishes. His search leads him to the city of Atlantis, where his mother has been in prison. Upon reaching Atlantis, Kratos fights through waves of the god Poseidon's defenses and eventually finds Callisto, laying dying on the ground.
Dude, I wonder, like, what powers would he get with that? I keep pausing. There's so many questions in my brain, but I'm like, they're like, hey, welcome to godhood. Here's your teleportation button. Here's the button that lets you communicate with people down on Earth. Like, just fucking click this one. You can whisper to somebody and they can pray to you or whatever the heck else. But I mean,
Callisto
I gotta
tells
play
her
the
son
originals. I
that
want to
his
play the originals
father
so
brought him
bad.
there. But before he can ask about him, Callisto further states that his brother Deimos is still alive.
What?
In danger. Deimos, who
That's
was taken by
crazy.
Ares when they were both children, had actually been imprisoned by the gods.
Deimos looks
And Callisto
hardcore.
urges Kratos to find and rescue him. Kratos then asks who his father is, but before she can say any more, Callisto is overcome by a curse that transforms her into a monstrous creature.
Oh my fuck. Yeah, this dude's past is so messed up. No wonder he's mad all the time. Atreus needs to go easy on this guy. What the hell? I mean, We're past that point now. We played enough of the game, but damn. Also, it'd be funny. She's like, right as she's about to tell him, a bolt of lightning comes out of nowhere and just strikes her down. I thought that's where that was going. That would have been pretty funny.
Forced to defend himself, Kratos reluctantly brings an end to his mother's life. But in her dying words, she tells Kratos to return to Sparta to find Deimos. On his way out of the city, Kratos encounters the Titan Thera, imprisoned deep within the volcanic heart of
Let him out! He did nothing
Seeing
wrong.
an opportunity to wreak havoc on the gods who have wronged him, Kratos frees Thera, unleashing a destructive force that causes the city to be consumed by a devastating flood as Kratos escapes.
He really is just an agent of chaos, isn't he? They told us who his dad is, right? We know who his dad is. They have not told us yet in this specifically. He's going to save his brother right now, though. Bro's gonna murder everyone? Yeah, he's just chaos, dude. Chaos incarnate.
Kratos begins his journey back to Sparta. Along the way, he is met by the mysterious gravedigger once again.
Does he die
who
again?
warns him that the destruction of Poseidon's kingdom will not be taken well by Olympus. He then states that Kratos will never find his brother, advising him to stay away from the domain of death. Shortly after, Kratos is confronted by Arenas, the daughter of Thanatos, the god of death. Arenas seeks to stop Kratos, but after a brutal battle, he is able to defeat her before slaying her.
God!
Finally reaching Sparta, Kratos is welcomed as a hero by the people who once served under him.
The blue blades are sick. Oh, the blue blades are so cool.
The Temple of Ares, where he is confronted by a vision of his younger self, a spirit-like reminder of the boy he once was, filled with anger and reckless ambition.
God of War, but I'm bullying a small child.
The vision reveals that the key to finding Deimos lies back in Atlantis, within the fabled domain of death, from which no mortal has ever returned.
Yeah, his dad is Zeus.
On his way out, a young Spartan soldier returns Kratos his arms from when he was the commander of the Spartan army. Kratos makes his way back to the now sunken Atlantis, navigating through the ruins of the city when Poseidon himself inhabits a massive statue to confront Kratos. The god of the sea warns Kratos that his actions have consequences, and that he will pay for the destruction of Atlantis. Kratos defies the god once again, however, ignoring the statue's warning and continuing on his path. Pressing on, Kratos finally discovers the gateway to the domain of death. After he passes through to the other side, Kratos at last finds his long-lost brother Deimos.
Okay, so inner child healing, not for him. Do you think does this mess him up more? Or is it like, hey, I have something from the past that I can kind of latch myself to and really feel at home again? Because my thoughts are, his brother's fucked up. They're about to fisticuffs. What are his arms? Yo, his arms are crazy. Oh shit, his brother's also badass. Give me a game where I play as that guy. That guy's sick as fuck.
Shackled and broken after years of torment. However, a frenzied Deimos blames Kratos for abandoning him all those years ago, leading to a fight between the two. This pleasant family reunion is cut short as Thanatos arrives, seizing Deimos and dragging him to the very cliff where Kratos once tried to end his own story. Desperate to save his brother, Kratos pursues them and is able to rescue Deimos. The brothers, now reconciled, face Thanatos together.
That's sick.
Even their family actions strength is not enough to prevent the inevitable, however, as Thanatos strikes down Deimos, leaving Kratos to helplessly watch his brother die before him. In a final, furious confrontation,
Thanos just trying to balance it out. You have two, you got to put it to one. Cut it in half. That's the way Thanos works.
Kratos slays Thanatos.
He's just losing everybody. He's dying.
The battle and avenging his fallen brother. Kratos then proceeds to carry Deimos' body to the peak of the mountain, where the gravedigger has prepared a grave for him. As Kratos lays his brother to rest, he reflects on what he has become, and the gravedigger tells him, Death, the destroyer of worlds.
He's got the craziest titles. Death, the destroyer of worlds, the ghost of Sparta, God of War. This dude is on another level. We know this. That's why we're here watching this shit. We heard trauma makes great wars. Wife, mother, he had to kill his own mom. He had to watch her transform. He killed his own wife, daughter. His brother died with him in battle. Like, this is just, it's like accolade after accolade of all the fucked up things you can add to his story. Builds character, or it tears a character down until they become what he is now. And all he's got is just chaos now. Isn't that the Oppenheimer title? I don't know.
Athena then appears before Kratos, and knowing that he's now free of all the ties
Thanatos is
that
the god
made
of
him
death.
mortal, she offers him.
Well, but this is what I'm saying, is like he gave him the title. The Gravedigger called him the god of death. So it's like not specifically that is what he is, because he is still the god of war, but but somebody called the Gravedigger calling him that is what I'm saying. Like just another like title. It's not his actual thing. It's not who he is, but that's all I was talking about. Not an actual whatever else.
The chance to fully ascend to godhood. Kratos quickly rejects.
He wasn't even fully ascended as a god. Hold on, I missed something. Oppenheimer was quoting a Hindu proverb. We are going into things I do not know about. Okay, I missed that part. He's doing all this as a full ascended god. What the hell?
Then appears before Kratos, and knowing that he's now free of all the ties that made him mortal, she offers him the chance to fully ascend to godhood. Kratos quickly rejects her, declaring that the gods will pay for the suffering they have caused him and his family. As he walks away, Athena, with a tone of ominous reverence, quietly asks forgiveness from her brother.
Nah, forgiveness. How many gods in Greek mythology? I know there's quite a few, but how many total? In Greek mythology, gods are powerful, immortal beings. That doesn't give me a number, you fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gods. It's 12 gods. So 1v11. NBD, no big deal. Light work is what we call that.
Indicating her awareness that they share the same father. The Gravedigger, now alone, then buries Callisto next to Deimos before standing beside a third, ominously empty grave. With a sense of finality, he declares that now only one remains, as Kratos returns to his throne, plotting his next move against the gods. After returning to his throne as the new god of war,
What the hell?
Kratos continues his relentless campaigns
8-bit?
across Greece, leading the Spartan army to conquer all who stand in their way. As Kratos leads an army on yet another
sick.
campaign, he is attacked by several creatures.
Dude, that's so
led by the
cool.
giant Argos. Argos is then slain by a mysterious assassin, who frames Kratos for the murder in order to turn Olympus against him. Determined to find the culprit and clear his name, Kratos sets out to track down the assassin. His search leads him through a series of battles across the Greek countryside, where he faces fierce opposition from enemies sent by Hades. Along the way, Kratos is stopped by Syrinx, the son of the god Hermes.
I think there is only the 12. Could somebody correct me on that, Neon, if that is the case? I Googled it. I saw just the 12. But I believe there's a lot of demigods because of those gods fucking. But I believe those are the ones that actually hang out in Olympus, as there is the 12 main gods. That's only the Olympian gods. There are a lot more in Greek mythology that does not cover the Titans and Primordial. Yeah, I guess I was mostly referring to the ones he is blaming, the gods of Olympus. So, as for like demigods and everything else, far and few between, I don't think Kratos is really... God damn. My throat got hella dry right there. What the fuck? Red Bull's probably not the answer. Dude, it felt like something just got lodged in my throat, like a chip or something. Oh my God. Ugh. Yeah. Other than the gods of Olympus, I don't think Kratos is really worried about going out and killing all the other ones that are out there. All the lesser gods, for lack of a better word.
Olympus's messenger. Syrinx brings Kratos a message from Zeus to stop his warmongering and destruction, lest he face the wrath of the gods. However, Kratos, driven by his rage and distrust of the gods who have betrayed him in the past, refuses to back down. A fierce battle ensues between Kratos and Syrinx, and despite Syrinx's divine powers and his desperate attempts to reason with Kratos, he is ultimately no match for the ghost of Sparta. Kratos kills Syrinx, further enraging the gods and deepening the rift between them. This distraction additionally allows the mysterious assassin to escape, his identity remaining unknown.
They're part of the faction? Okay, gotcha.
Eventually
Thank
leads
you.
him to the city of Rhodes, where he decides to personally lead his Spartan army into battle, once again against Athena's pleas. As Kratos tears through
That
the
armor's
city,
sick.
an eagle, which Kratos believes to be Athena in disguise, intervenes,
Zeus.
secretly sapping his divine powers and transferring them into the Colossus of Rhodes, an enormous statue that suddenly springs to life and attacks Kratos. During the battle, Zeus calls from the skies and offers Kratos the Blade of Olympus.
Oh, there he is. Now he's got it.
Himself used to end the great war between the Titans and the gods. Following Zeus's instructions, Kratos channels his godhood into the blade, making him mortal, but giving him the power to destroy the Colossus from within. However, after defeating the Colossus, Kratos is crushed by the statue's hand as it falls on him, causing...
I actually didn't use that weapon a whole lot in Valhalla. It seemed ass, but I feel like it's got to be really good. I feel like it's got to be. Maybe I go back and try that out a little bit more, but this seemed fun to use.
Kratos limps towards the blade.
I also suck.
Arrives again and reveals himself to actually be Zeus. Accusing Kratos of being too dangerous and uncontrollable, Zeus betrays him, stabbing him with the Blade of Olympus.
Well, that's number 4, I think.
As
I don't even know.
Kratos lays dying,
he pulls it
Zeus
back.
offers him a final chance to serve the gods again, but Kratos, ever defiant, refuses. In response, Zeus kills Kratos, and his broken body is cast into the underworld of Hades' domain.
Wait, Hades gonna give him an offer now?
Here,
of course not.
As his soul descends into the depths of Hades, he is saved by the Titan Gaia. Gaia reveals that the Titans, who were defeated and cast aside by the Olympian gods long ago, have been waiting for their chance to return and take revenge on Zeus.
It's always revenge this, revenge that, greed this, greed that. Hey, let's cut a deal. Let's cut a little deal, and then I'll backstab you so that somebody else cuts a deal with you, and then you can backstab them.
Offering
What
Kratos
the fuck,
his own
dude?
chance at vengeance by joining them.
What are we doing?
With Gaia's assistance, Kratos escapes the underworld and begins his journey to seek out the Sisters of Fate, the Moirai, who control the threads of destiny.
This is what we call
Kratos
plot
plans
armor.
to force them to change his fate, allowing him to go back in time and prevent his betrayal by Zeus. Gaia then sends forth the legendary flying Pegasus to assist Kratos in traversing the vast distance to the sisters. Kratos and Pegasus, after a detour to a mountain housing the Titan Typhon and the chained Titan Prometheus, who gives his life to grant Kratos the power of the Rage of the Titans, fly towards the island of creation, home of the Sisters of Fate.
He got so much
However,
help.
they are attacked by griffins and ravens, led by the island's guardian, the Dark Rider. The Dark Rider causes Pegasus to plummet to its death, but Kratos quickly returns the favor by killing the Dark Rider and riding the Dark Griffin to the island below.
Damn!
On the island,
What did it do to
encounters
him?
a host of challenges, including a reunion with Ulrich, the barbarian king. Ulrich, who Kratos had previously defeated in battle, fought his way through the underworld to escape back to the land of the living, his appearance now twisted by the fires of Hades. The two warriors clash in the Bog of the Forgotten, where Ulrich drags Kratos into a poisonous swamp, intent on settling their old score. The barbarian king, now imbued with dark magic, grows to an enormous size, but Kratos ultimately overpowers him, seizing Ulrich's mighty hammer and using it to crush his skull, killing his foe once again.
0 for 2 against Kratos? Actually, I was going to say 0 for 2 against Kratos. I forgot he got helped earlier on, so never mind. Kratos has a lot of help here. Was it Helios, Ares, Athena, Zeus a little bit. Zeus kind of betrayed him. I don't know. He's on like a pretty big... Oh, and then the Titans, of course, helping him out.
He encounters increasingly formidable adversaries, including his cousin Theseus, whom he kills to obtain the Horsekeeper's Key.
Theseus, your beard is weird.
The steeds of time. He also encounters Perseus, his half-brother, whom he defeats to obtain a reflective
And the Grave
shield,
Dude, yeah.
as well as the
Grave
Gorgon
Digger.
Queen Uriel, from whom he takes her head to petrify enemies. After coming across Icarus, whom he strips of his wings, Kratos plummets below the earth and comes face to face with Atlas, the Titan he imprisoned years ago. Initially, Atlas holds a grudge against Kratos for his role in his imprisonment, but Kratos manages to convince the Titan that they share a common enemy in Zeus. Atlas, intrigued by Kratos' goal to kill Zeus, agrees to help him before explaining the creation of the Blade of Olympus and its significance in the Great War between the Titans and the gods. He grants Kratos the power of the Atlas Quake and helps him return to the surface, where Kratos continues his quest.
That was a heavy skill
He
you
then
get.
reawakens the Phoenix before finding the last remaining Spartan, the same one who returned his arms to him years ago. The last Spartan informs Kratos that Zeus destroyed the city of Sparta in his absence, angering the former god of war even further. Kratos then kills the Kraken, assisted by Gaia once again.
That was a crazy...
Kratos.
It was a crazy looking Kraken. I actually really like the design. Not bad by any means, but it's definitely different than I think. Trying to think of some movies and whatever else that I've watched. I guess those are pretty crazy. I don't think it's too far now I'm thinking about it. There was what is that movie? The Olympus movie. Olympus is whatever the heck. No, that's a whole. What is the movie with the fucking sexy guy? I forget his name. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. Da 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 bop bop. There's the Olympus Has Fallen, which is not what I'm looking for at all. We're sidebarring a lot. That's okay. I forgive myself. Clash of the Titans. Yeah, Clash of the Titans had a similar design to this for sure. A little more aggressive and like I don't want to say edgy, but it definitely a little more aggressive and like beast-like rather than Kraken squid-like.
Kratos then kills the Kraken, assisted by Gaia once again, who appears to him in a vision as his late wife Lysandra. And
they love doing that. You get some new tricks.
Kratos eventually arrives at the Temple of the Fates and reaches the throne room of Lachesis, where he confronts the Sister of Fate. She simply tells Kratos that nobody can change their destiny, and his doesn't include killing Zeus. Kratos refuses to let anyone but himself decide his fate.
What, is it her wings?
Battle between him and Lachesis.
Lachesis.
During the fight, Lachesis' sister Atropos joins in, transporting Kratos to a memory of his battle against Ares. Ultimately, Kratos traps them both on the other side of a mirror before smashing it, leaving both of their fates unknown. Kratos then reaches the loom
what a weird
and
fight.
confronts Claudia,
cool.
the weaver of the threads of fate, and after a fierce struggle, he kills her by impaling her skull with a giant pendulum blade. With the Sisters of Fate defeated, Kratos seizes control of the loom, allowing him to rewrite his destiny.
This was a story that I think he told Mimir and Freya sometime when you're on a boat in a scene in Ragnarok. They're talking about changing your fate when you're trying to find, I forget the names of the ones in Ragnarok, but it's the same deal, the Sisters of Fate and whatnot. He talks about how he went and sought them down and decided to change his own fate and mess with time and whatnot. And Freya just replies with, that was highly irresponsible of you. Yeah, I don't think Kratos gave a fuck at this point. There was so much shit he did before this that was so much worse. Olympus Has Fallen. Love how random it is in there. Wait, love how random it is in. What do you mean? Love how random it is in there. You're talking about this? Like all the random shit? Like, I was thinking, why does she just have a pendulum right next to her head? That's like that sharp and dangerous. But I don't know. She seems pretty cozy. I guess I don't think she really has a choice. She's kind of stuck. I also just noticed the blur of her boobies. The Norns? Oh, the Norns. That's what it was. Crook-back, bog-looking bit. With Zeus just kicking in the background, I guess.
Kratos then uses the loom to return to the moment of his betrayal by Zeus.
That whole area was wild.
Now armed with the blood of Olympus, he confronts Zeus once again. The two engage in a fierce battle.
Multiverse.
But just as Kratos is about to kill Zeus, Athena intervenes, jumping between the two.
Athena needs to mind her own business.
As Kratos lunges with the blade of Olympus for a final strike, Athena sacrifices herself to save her father. Before she dies, Athena reveals to Kratos that Zeus is actually his father, and that Zeus's actions were an attempt to break the cycle of patricide that has plagued his lineage. Athena begs him to relent, but Kratos, consumed by rage and
he gets even more mad.
Vengeance, vows to destroy Olympus and all who stand in his way of killing
There's
Zeus.
a pretty common theme here. Kratos is just mad all the time.
Kratos that he now has the power to control time.
Yeah, that is the one you were talking about, Neon. That's why I was like, Olympus Has Fallen, and then I looked it up and I remember, yeah, that's the White House thing for whatever reason. Yeah, Kratos' theme here is just get mad, kill somebody, stuff goes wrong, get mad again, and try to kill the right person, or something along the lines of that.
Instead of simply returning back to the beginning of his fight with Zeus, Kratos uses the loom to travel all the way back to the Great War between the Titans and the gods. There, he calls upon the Titans of the past, rescuing them just before the Blade of Olympus defeats them, bringing them into Kratos' time to wage war against the Olympian
Oh my
gods.
god, what the
As
hell?
The Titans climb Mount Olympus, Kratos leads them, declaring to Zeus that his son has returned, bringing the destruction of Olympus.
That's crazy. I was
Kratos-
I was like, oh, how sweet. He helped the Titans because they helped him. But bringing him into his own timeline is insane. Who the hell's on the right over here?
Scales Mount Olympus alongside
That looks
the
painful.
Titans, the gods prepare to defend their realm. Poseidon, the god of the sea, is the first to confront Kratos, and a titanic battle ensues, with Poseidon unleashing his full power to stop the vengeful Spartan. However, Kratos defeats Poseidon,
Just dead.
brutally slaying the god.
I'm sorry, that's so funny. Seeing this giant water beast of a god, and then the very next scene, it's just
However,
fucking dead.
Kratos defeats Poseidon, brutally slaying the god.
That's
and unleashing a
Hades?
massive
Hades looks
flood
awful.
That engulfs the world below.
Sick.
With Poseidon dead, Kratos and Gaia continue their ascent, eventually reaching the peak of Mount Olympus where they confront Zeus. Anticipating their arrival, Zeus strikes them with a powerful blast of lightning, damaging Gaia and knocking both her and Kratos off the mountain. As they cling to the cliffs, Gaia betrays Kratos, dismissing him as nothing more than a pawn in the Titan's quest for power. Betrayed once again, Kratos falls.
For the 12th time. Again? What the hell? Okay, hold on. Let me get my head straight here. Kratos is a son of Zeus. We know this. Duh, that's what they were just talking about. The entire reason this all started is Zeus trying to prevent the prophecies from coming true. They go get Kratos' brother. Kratos becomes scarred, whatever. He tattoos himself in remembrance of his brother to never forget the pain that he felt of like kind of abandoning his brother, I guess, in a sense. From there, it's pretty straightforward, I think. He gets mad at Ares, tries to kill Ares, eventually goes through a couple loopholes, puzzles, whatever the heck else, kills Ares, takes that power, becomes a god. Then from there, it's trickery after trickery, deceiving and whatnot to kill the other gods. And that's how we kind of end up here. But a lot of backstabbing in the process of him killing his own parents, or killing his own mom, his own wife, his own daughter, battling alongside his brother. His brother dies. A lot more kind of happens in between all the other gods who kind of enrages himself. Like when I was saying he was going through the roster, I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Kratos to every single god. He kind of got a glimpse of how every god is a piece of shit for whatever reason. We should have done a death counter for Kratos and a betrayal counter. They would be in the tens for sure right now. I don't even know. Hades is the most fun old God of War fight. Hades is? He looks insane. I don't think I've ever seen a Hades like that. The one I'm actually used to is, no joke, the Disney version where it's like blue flames, kind of ugly, weird, ghoulish looking. So there's a whole lot to this. But I just wanted to make sure I'm getting this straight before we keep going. That's how we ended up here. Is he's just pissed off at the gods for good reason. Betrayed once more. That is another change I forgot to mention before. Gaia is not a titan in normal Greek mythos, but a primordial. Primordials, titans. Okay, gotcha. We'll figure out the classifications later, I guess, because I do need to know between gods, demigods, everything, like where kind of people stand. But for the most part, I think I have a good idea right now. And again, it kind of changes from game to actual mythology, but onward. We go onward.
Weakened but resolute, Kratos navigates the river Styx in the underworld.
No big deal. He's been here before.
Revenge. He then
what was that? Sorry.
The river Styx in the underworld, driven by his thirst for revenge.
Driven by his thirst for Kratos? Driven by his thirst for revenge? Nah, that's never happened before.
He then encounters Athena,
not my God of War.
Despite her death, now speaks to him from a higher plane of existence. Athena reveals that to defeat Zeus, Kratos must extinguish the source of his power.
Why is she helping him now?
Kratos begins his trek through the underworld, encountering the demigod Pirithous, who is chained and suffering in a prison of tinder. Pirithous begs for release in exchange for his bow, but instead, Kratos burns him alive with a fire-breathing Cerberus to take the bow for himself.
That's fucking crazy.
Kratos then encounters Hephaestus, the god of fire and forge, who has been imprisoned in the underworld by Zeus. Hephaestus is bitter and weary, having been cast out of Olympus and forced to toil in his forge. Hephaestus is initially surprised to see Kratos alive, as he assumed that Zeus would have killed him by now. Despite their shared animosity towards Zeus, Hephaestus remains wary of Kratos, knowing of the destruction that follows him. When Kratos inquires about the flame of Olympus, Hephaestus warns him of its deadly nature, stating that neither god nor mortal can touch it without being consumed by its fire. Kratos continues his journey and confronts the three judges of the dead, King Aeacus, King Rhadamanthus, and King Minos. These judges evaluate the souls that pass through the underworld. Although the first 2 judges find him undeserving, the final decision by King Minos allows Kratos to continue his journey, acknowledging that his destiny lies beyond the doors they guard.
Okay.
Kratos eventually finds himself before Hades.
That is a crazy design.
Kratos about the many sins he has committed, including the murder of Hades' brother Poseidon and his niece Athena. Hades then attacks Kratos, leading to a brutal battle. Despite Hades' boasts that Kratos will never defeat him, Kratos manages to defeat him, ripping out Hades' soul with the god's own weapons.
He absorbs his soul too? Dude, those weapons are sick. Let me get those. I want a God of War where they just give you every weapon Kratos has ever had. Let's have that. Let's make that sick.
The claws of Hades. With Hades defeated, the balance of life and death is disrupted, and souls begin to escape out of the underworld. After the battle, Kratos returns to Hephaestus, who reacts with surprise and disbelief at Hades' death. Hephaestus explains that only the soul of a god can operate the Hyperion Gate, a portal to the world above. Hephaestus then explains that the flame of Olympus was used to forge Pandora's box, which contains the evils of the Great War. Hephaestus reveals that he created a key to unlock the box, his daughter, Pandora, who was made from the essence of the flame itself. However, Zeus, fearing the power of the box, took Pandora away from Hephaestus and imprisoned her. Despite his anger, Hephaestus agrees to help Kratos by providing him with information on how to find Pandora, but he does so reluctantly, knowing that Kratos is determined to destroy Zeus at any cost. Kratos opens the Hyperion Gate using Hades' soul to return to the surface, where he sees Helios, the god of the sun, flying across the sky in his fiery chariot.
Okay, see, Helios, we're not quite to the point. We have experienced the point where he helps Helios, goes to Helios for help. This is probably the point where he betrays Helios, I guess. I don't know. I forgot this guy was even out there is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of stuff that happened between point A and point B to get here now.
Kratos soon encounters Gaia,
because this was talked about in Valhalla
after her fall from Olympus. Gaia pleads for Kratos' help, but he coldly dismisses her, declaring that it's now his war, not hers. He cuts her loose, letting her fall to her apparent doom. Moving forward, Kratos discovers a wounded Helios, who tries to deceive him by claiming that the flame of Olympus will kill him if he tries to use it. Kratos, not fooled by the god's lies, tears off Helios' head with his bare hands,
that was brutal,
extinguishing
dude.
the sun and plunging the world into darkness.
Darkness,
Kratos uses Helios' head as a source of light to illuminate his path. Remember this for later.
Got you. Thank you.
Kratos continues his journey, encountering Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Hermes mocks Kratos for his past deeds, taunting him about his murderous rampage.
Mel Gibson.
Hermes is fast, but Kratos is ever relentless in his pursuit. During the chase, Kratos finds Pandora's box, shrouded in the flame, and the spirit of Athena states that it still holds the power to slay a god as long as Pandora can free it. The chase ultimately leads to a final confrontation where Kratos, with brute force outmatching sheer speed, cuts off Hermes' legs and takes his winged sandals. With Hermes' death, a plague releases from his body and spreads across the world.
I think what I also need to say after this is probably like the death animations for all these gods and all the fights. Because I know the ones from 2018 in Ragnarok, just being able to execute somebody like that was some of the most peak gaming you could ever experience. So seeing what the old ones look like would be pretty interesting.
Kratos then meets Zeus's wife and Ares' mother, Hera, before she calls forth his half-brother, Hercules. Hercules challenges Kratos to a fight, seeing this as his chance to finally claim the title of God of War for himself. The two engage in a fierce battle, where Kratos ultimately overpowers Hercules, smashing his brother's skull with his own Nemin Cestus, a pair of gauntlets with immense power. After defeating Hercules, Kratos soon finds himself in Aphrodite's chambers. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and Hephaestus' wife, seduces Kratos, leading to an intimate encounter. Don't make the same mistake as Ludwig and look that up on stream.
Where was Aphrodite in that? Did they fight?
To be fair, we have had, I would say, both natural occurrences, but we have had worse shown on stream before because Outlast 2 shows straight up birth. Like, these things can get pretty graphic. Again, beautiful natural things. Life's good. But like some shit gets weird. They fight, yeah, they wrestle. They get a little wrestling done. little mud wrestling. Something, I don't know. They don't fight.
Aphrodite opens a pathway back to her husband's forge.
Mm-hmm.
Kratos returns to Hephaestus, who tells him to retrieve Pandora.
Health class,
he
exactly.
must navigate the labyrinth, a massive and complex structure
Puzzles.
built by the mortal architect Daedalus.
Puzzle for
Hephaestus
thee,
then
not for
reveals
me.
That he holds Kratos responsible for his daughter's current capture by Zeus.
Shut up.
When Kratos opened Pandora's box to kill Ares, Zeus took Pandora away from Hephaestus.
At some point, Kratos has to just be like, what of it, right? When does he get to that point? Because people are always like, dude, it's your fault for this. I'm going to fight you for this. Hey, let's battle to the death for this. And he's just kind of like, okay, what of it? Like, you hold me responsible. What are you going to do about it? I want to know his personality. The lore here is explaining a lot of the revenge, anger, whatever else. But I kind of want to know, like 2018 and Ragnarok, you get this slow evolution of his character into becoming the great father that he is. The whole Ragnarok story. But you can kind of see glimpses of his personality shine through in moments where he gets a little excited about certain stories, or even the stories he tells, how he reacts to certain things and whatnot. So I still, like, even though I know the lore, I'm saying all this just because I would really like to see how he talks about things, like the tone of voice, the wording he takes and uses to talk to these gods and whatnot. I'm very curious how he just acts in a basis like this.
Imprisoning her within the labyrinth to prevent anyone else from accessing the box again. Hephaestus, tormented by the loss of his daughter, was banished to the underworld, where he has remained ever since, desperately trying to recreate Pandora without success.
He does seem always angry, though.
Hephaestus decides to help Kratos, recognizing that his determination might be the only way to free Pandora and ultimately end Zeus's reign. Hephaestus tells Kratos that to forge a weapon powerful enough to aid in his quest, they will need the Omphalos Stone, a mythical object of immense power, which lies deep within Tartarus, the prison of the Titans. Kratos descends into Tartarus, where he encounters the Titan Kronos, once again, who immediately recognizes Kratos as the one who took Pandora's box from his temple, an act that indirectly led to Kratos' imprisonment in the realm. Kratos then climbs his way up the massive Titan,
dude, it's
using his
huge.
strength and cunning to
Holy
overcome
shit.
the formidable challenges posed by Kronos' enormous size.
I know they said Titan, and I know he's supposed to be massive, but seeing the scaling of it now where Kratos is walking on his hands is insane.
After an intense struggle, Kratos ultimately kills Kronos by driving the blade of Olympus into the
That's
Titan's
hardcore.
skull, securing the Omphalos Stone in the process.
What's up,
With the
I'm
stone
getting
in hand, Kratos returns to Hephaestus, who begins forging the new weapon, a powerful item that the blacksmith promises will give Kratos the means to defeat Zeus. However, Hephaestus, driven by his desperation to protect Pandora, betrays Kratos, attempting to kill him with the newly
+1 to the betrayal counter.
forged weapon. Kratos, however, proves too strong and overpowers the god, killing him with his own anvil.
+1 to be proving too strong again.
As Hephaestus lays dying,
At this
he
point,
expresses-
I keep pausing. I know, but there's a whole lot to this. We still got a lot of video to get through. At this point, you'll hear Kratos' track record. Killing Ares by itself should be scary in general. But then Athena, you had all the other Titans, you had the fights with Zeus, like you had all the other things he's ever slain in battle. Like, what makes these people think they're gonna win? There's insanity to think so.
regret, not for his betrayal, but for failing to save his daughter.
Yeah,
Kratos takes the newly
Yep.
forged Nemesis Whip, a weapon imbued with the power of the Omphalos Stone, and continues his journey. He
Nemesis
eventually
Whip.
reaches
A
Hera's
crazy
Garden,
cool
a
name.
lush yet deceptive area filled with puzzles and illusions crafted by the Queen of the Gods herself.
Ew.
As Kratos enters Hera's garden, he is confronted by the goddess herself. A drunken Hera proceeds to taunt Kratos about his quest, mocking him for the destruction he has caused and the gods he has slain, blaming him for the unraveling of Olympus. The garden itself is a maze of illusions designed to confuse and mislead intruders. Kratos navigates his way through, and at the heart of the garden, Hera attempts one final act of defiance. She summons more illusions to hinder Kratos, but when it becomes clear that he cannot be stopped, she confronts him directly.
The illusion thing, they gotta chill with that. Like, you're not getting anywhere with that.
In a fit of desperation, Hera insults Kratos, but he remains unmoved by her words. When she attempts to get to him by insulting Pandora, however, Kratos grabs Hera by the throat and snaps her neck, silencing his stepmother forever. As Hera's lifeless body falls to the ground, the garden begins to wither and die. The lush greenery turns to ash, the once vibrant flowers wilt, and the entire area becomes a barren wasteland. Hera's death signifies the end of fertility and growth in the world, plunging it further into darkness and decay.
Damn, Kratos kind of... No wonder he lives somewhere
Kratos
new.
continues through the now desolate garden, moving closer to his ultimate goal. As Kratos enters the labyrinth, he encounters Daedalus, who is trapped in the machinery of his own creation. Daedalus reveals that he built the labyrinth under orders from Zeus, who promised to reunite him with his son, Icarus. Kratos coldly reveals that Icarus is, in fact, dead.
You know what? I see these machines. The worst thing I always think of is being tickled in that. That would be my worst nightmare. That would be my own personal hell. Worst nightmare come true. If I'm chained up like that and just being tickled, I probably would fucking shit everywhere.
Or activating a trap and killing the architect.
Anytime I see that
Kratos
specific like thing, I'm like, dude, I would hate to be tickled.
And defeating enemies until he finally
solving
finds
puzzles.
Pandora.
Pandora,
a young girl with a strong will, insists on helping Kratos extinguish the flame, despite his initial reluctance. Kratos, seeing Pandora as a reflection of his lost daughter Calliope, becomes very protective of her, and together they make their way towards the flame of Olympus.
What happened to baby Gojo? Where's that guy at?
Pandora stresses to Kratos the power of hope, which has replaced the fear in her heart.
Hope!
Kratos is then forced to break
the god
chains
of hope
balance held by the three judges of the dead, which raises the labyrinth, along with Pandora, up to the box. However, Kratos refuses to let Pandora sacrifice her life to extinguish the flame, as he does not want to cause her death as he did his own daughter's. She chooses to embrace her fate, however, and breaks free.
Damn, right into his dick.
Stopped by an arriving Zeus.
Uh-oh.
A battle between father and son then ensues.
That fight's got to be
Fierce
crazy.
fight, Pandora again attempts to sacrifice herself to extinguish the flame and allow Kratos to retrieve Pandora's box. Kratos rushes over and grabs her, torn between his desire for revenge and his protective instincts towards Pandora. Pandora pleads with Kratos to let her seal her fate, and Zeus provokes him by goading him to not fail Pandora like he did his own family.
Damn.
Kratos summons all of his will and reluctantly lets her go.
Pissing this guy off is not working so far, yet they keep doing it. Baby Gojo is Zeus? Oh, fuck. Well, shit. Okay. That's on me. Welcome back, Baby Gojo.
Zeus, as the flame of Olympus is extinguished, and they're both knocked out in the blast following Pandora's sacrifice.
I don't know how I forgot that, if I'll be honest with you.
When Kratos comes to, he finally opens Pandora's box, shockingly finding it to be completely empty. Enraged and confused, he battles Zeus
his look, oh my god. He looked crazy.
The battle is soon interrupted, however,
by
as
a
a surviving Gaia arrives to defeat them both. The two then enter a wound in Gaia's chest and fight beside her
inside
heart,
Gaia?
draining the very life essence out of it. Kratos, now empowered by the heart of Gaia, then impales Zeus into it with the blade of Olympus. Finally,
two birds, one stone.
Gaia, as well as his father, Zeus.
That's sick.
One swift blow.
Pretty sure this is a Moana scene, isn't it?
However,
they just stole it from Moana.
Zeus's spirit, filled with hatred and malice, refuses to be defeated. It rises from his lifeless body and launches a final desperate assault on Kratos, attacking him mentally and emotionally. Zeus's spirit invades Kratos.
Emotionally.
He finds himself trapped in a surreal, nightmarish landscape.
Sorry, I don't know what was funny.
His own mind, where he is forced to relive his most painful memories.
Oh.
He's tormented by visions of his dead wife Lysandra and daughter Calliope, reliving their murder while he was under the influence of Ares.
Okay, so backstab counter, death counter, visions counter. There's got to be. Listen, if I wasn't the editor and I paid an editor to do this, I would be like, yo, editor, pop that shit up over there. But that's me, so I'm not even gonna bother. But damn, it's a full circle. This is the what is it called that we looked up earlier? It's a circle, the snake biting the snake, but it's like that, but for these specific things. They just happen over and over again.
In this dreamlike state,
there you
Kratos is also confronted by a vision of Pandora, who urges Kratos that in order for his sins to be forgiven, he must first find the power to forgive himself, to
Aww.
let go of his rage.
At the end of it all, it was just a story about being able to forgive yourself when you make mistakes. That's adorable.
Kratos returns to
Never
the
mind him
physical
ripping off
world
heads.
and forces Zeus's spirit back into his fallen body. Kratos
He's
then
alive
charges
again.
him and beats him to death with his bare hands, finally killing the king of the gods for good and bringing an end to the reign of Olympus.
Crazy.
In the wake of Olympus's destruction, the spirit of Athena appears once again, congratulating Kratos on his success.
Wait, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is she congratulating him, and why did she give him advice and help earlier on when she initially died to save him? That part kind of confuses me. Forgiving himself for all the unthinkable things he's done, for real, yeah, just, hey, my fault. Hey, new me, older me didn't mean to do that. Sorry, oopsie daisy.
And reveals that the true power within Pandora's box was not the evils it contained, but instead the power of hope. Athena explains that Kratos unknowingly absorbed this power when he first opened the box to defeat Ares, while the evils were actually unleashed and unknowingly absorbed by the gods.
Oh.
It was this power, even buried beneath his pains, not pants, that allowed him to defeat the gods. By forgiving himself, however, Kratos unleashed the power of hope within himself. Athena demands that Kratos return the power of hope to her so that she can rebuild the world in her image. However, Kratos, now realizing the true nature of the power he possesses,
never trust
refuses.
her. You don't trust
that the
gods
power of
anyways.
hope is not something to be controlled or wielded by a god, but something that belongs to humanity. In a final act of defiance and redemption, Kratos decides to release the power of hope into the world. He raises the blade of Olympus, and instead of striking down Athena, plunges the blade into his own chest. This
That's
self-inflicted
hardcore.
wound releases the power of hope from him.
Oh
sending
my-
it out into the world where it can be.
Dude, that is a sick shot.
Releases the power of hope from him, sending it out.
That is sick. You've got like tornadoes in the background. It's all like inverted color scheme. Like there's a whole ass like hurricane happening over here. That is a badass shot right there. Oh, beautiful.
Into the world where it can be embraced by mankind. Athena is shocked and angered by Kratos' decision, expressing her disappointment in the man she once made a god.
Shut up.
Kratos simply responds to her
Honorable
with
for sure.
one final scoff before she removes the blade and walks off,
another death, bro.
leaving him to die.
God,
Kratos
another
then
hole.
simply-
That hole is almost the same exact as the other hole he got from the Blade of Olympus. They're just using the same model. Laziness.
He lays in a pool of his own blood as it seeps into a mural of an eagle etched into the ruins that were once Mount Olympus.
That's crazy. That's a fire story, wasn't it, Devon?
Sometime
Welcome.
later, we see the mural where Kratos' body once was, now abandoned, with nothing but the blade of Olympus lying next to a trail of blood, leading to the great sea that now envelops the world. This world, now devoid of the gods, faces an uncertain future, but through the power of hope, there is a chance for humanity to rebuild and forge a new path.
So, just to reiterate, gods that are dead: Hades, Helios, Ares, Zeus, Poseidon, Athena. What was the other? Persephone? How many? We're at 7? How many? What else is there? Am I missing others? Oh, Hermes. Huh. It's quite a few. He's killed quite a few. We are currently on, it says God of War 3 right now. God of War 3 is where he fights Zeus. So, everyone under the sun god? I guess so. Man's had to relive the same horrific life twice at least. He's got a big list of people he's murdered. This is like trying to keep track of Game of Thrones. Yeah, but Game of Thrones at least spans it out. We're trying to stuff all this information. It's been an hour. We still got a little bit of time left. Persephone's not an alien, just to be clear. Still a god though, am I not? Oh, she's the god. She's the wife of Hades, so queen of the underworld. Not quite the same. Okay, see this also like where that's what I was talking about. We're trying to decipher who is who. In regards to like their title and whatnot. I get a little confused there, but hey, at the least I know she's dead, and I kind of have an idea of where they fall in regards to the story.
Free from the influence of the Olympians.
W. Good job, Kratos.
Sometime after bringing an end to the reign of the gods of Olympus, Kratos awakens to find himself denied of the comforts of death, and instead cursed to walk the earth as punishment for his deeds. Soon the blades of chaos return to him, and he attempts to throw them into the sea, only to find them mysteriously return to him after a night's sleep. Hoping to escape from his past to at least find some kind of solitude in his eternal punishment, Kratos sets sail to new lands, again attempting to rid himself of the blades. When Kratos reaches shore, he passes out, and when he awakens, he finds the blades waiting for him once again.
Someone's just
He
pranking him.
discards them again before coming across
Prank
a
him,
village
John.
where he is met by the inhabitants with fear. He soon learns from an old man that his legend as the Ghost of Sparta and the God of War is known in this land of the pharaohs. The man warns Kratos that he cannot escape his destiny, but Kratos simply knocks him aside and walks off.
Kratos goes Egyptian on us? Wait, what? That's crazy. I like that title. Call me Queen of the Underworld from now on. Are you saying that this stream is the Underworld? Because if you're the Queen of the Underworld, I'd be the King of the Underworld. And if that's the case, then I'm the king of a bunch of zombie dead spirit people? What have for lunch? Me? Oh, I have returned from lunch. Tuna. What have from lunch? Cretates. Not your best work, Kirby, but it made me laugh, and that's all that matters. Okay, so now so now Kratos is going over to the Egyptian parts of things. Got more pharaoh gods over there, and what? He's gonna fight Ra?
Kratos continues.
He's gonna kill another sun god
to avoid the blade's return. As days turn into months, Kratos eventually succumbs to his slumber and awakens again to find the blades of chaos before him.
Just getting
Refusing
pranked,
to
dude.
allow his past to keep up with him, Kratos again leaves the blades behind and continues his trek, being taunted by various talking animals along the way who warn him of his
course.
destiny that lies ahead.
He's hallucinating,
Again,
of course.
Kratos is overcome by exhaustion and passes out, finding Athena waiting for him in his dreams. The goddess tells Kratos that the two of them are not yet through with each other, and instructs him to return to his home and fulfill his purpose. Kratos
What's his
then
purpose? Didn't
awakens,
she kill him?
Surprised to find the blades of chaos return to him once again. However, Kratos is surprised to find the old man from the village now before him, who instructs him to pick up the blades to prepare for battle, as the hour he will be needed is fast approaching. Kratos defiantly throws the blades aside again and continues walking, eventually reaching the same village he left months ago. While Kratos is confused at how he circled back to the village, he is soon distracted by the villagers, who are again fearful, but not of him this time. Instead, they beg for his help in fighting the giant Chaos Beast, which soon attacks the village. The villagers and the mysteriously present old man surmise that their prayers to the gods summoned Kratos back. Angered at the thought of the gods controlling him once again, Kratos refuses to help. The villagers run to escape the beast, and Kratos turns to find that the old man has vanished as the creature advances towards him.
Who is the
Kratos
old man,
gives in
man?
and fights the Chaos Beast, defeating it with his bare hands.
Of course.
Afterwards,
Light
the
work.
villagers return, but tremble in fear once again.
See, that's what I want to be called, the giant chaos beast. Got you. Don't they? We're here to please in this chat and in this freaking stream, so we got you. Don't worry. Refer to Mousquetaire as giant chaos beast from now on. Jamie will be, what was it? Underworld Queen of the Underworld. Okay, we're learning things here. We're getting new titles. It's a very, very fun stream, huh?
Running off while screaming of a monster. Kratos, confused as the Chaos Beast is dead, turns to see the old man once again, who claims that the threat has not yet been defeated. He turns, and a much larger Chaos Beast emerges from the sea.
Oh,
The villagers
pretty
beg
cool looking.
Kratos to help them once again, but wanting to be left alone, he again simply walks away. The beast follows him, and an annoyed Kratos gives in, lunging at the monster to attack.
always
The giant
irritated.
creature simply shrugs him off, sending Kratos crashing to the ground below, where the impact knocks him unconscious. In his dreams, Kratos finds Athena once again, this time accompanied by Thoth,
Hello?
the Egyptian god of wisdom, and the two
What
tell Kratos
the
that he
hell?
must fulfill his purpose as it was written, instructing him to finally take the blades of
That's
chaos.
crazy.
Kratos tries to deny his fate, but Thoth, revealing himself to be the old man as well as all of the talking animals, simply tells the former god of war that much like in his homelands, in the land of the pharaohs, his destiny is already written and cannot be avoided.
Oh, I didn't
Kratos
know.
reluctantly succumbs to their reasoning and picks up the blades, awakening back in his battle, which he continues, finally emerging victorious and slaying the Chaos Beast.
So the 2018 in Ragnarok, the Norse mythology side of things, is the third iteration of mythology and the gods and whatnot. Interesting. Cool.
Exhausted from the battle, Kratos passes out once again, and Thoth states that his purpose in the land of the pharaohs is complete, and his path will carry him to another land that needs him as well.
What? That was
Kratos,
it?
frustrated that he is still a slave to fate, but now knowing that there's nothing he can do about it, simply grabs the Blades of Chaos and continues walking, forced to relive his nightmares in his mind as he journeys towards his destiny, another new land. Decades later, Kratos has found his way to the land of the Norse gods, where he meets a woman named Faye, whom he marries and settles down with in a home in the Wild Woods region of the Midgard realm.
The Egyptian side was
Who
short-lived.
Kratos gives the name Atreus, after a Spartan soldier he fought alongside long ago, and he decides to keep his status as a demigod a secret from the boy.
Which is bad. Don't do
Hoping
that.
to learn to control his rage, Kratos
That's the
frequently
Kratos
ventures
I
out
know.
into the woods, where he is attacked by the animals inside. Honing his anger, he learns to refrain from fighting back and instead simply deflect their attacks. However, he soon learns from a large troll that he still doesn't have full control over his emotions. One day, Faye leaves to go hunting, leaving Atreus and Kratos at home. Kratos instructs Atreus to stay behind and chop wood as he heads off to find another challenge for his rage control. He soon comes across a giant bear attacking an old man, and Kratos fails to control himself, violently killing the bear before walking off, blaming the old man for setting off the events that led to him losing control. He leaves him for dead, returning home as another group of men watch him pass through an illusionary wall cloaking his home. Kratos returns to find Atreus playing with toys instead of chopping the wood, but before he can scold the boy, the group of men arrive and begin to speak to Kratos in their tongue, which he cannot understand. Atreus translates and reveals that the men have come to take revenge on Kratos, blaming him for their brother's death. Kratos denies killing anyone, claiming that he only killed a beast, before the men transform into bear-like creatures themselves and engage in battle.
Makes sense.
Kratos defeats the creatures, killing one threatening Atreus with the axe the boy was to use to cut the wood. When another man threatens to go bring the rest of his clan to the house, Kratos chases him, bringing Atreus along. Frustrated at losing the man's trail, Kratos begins to feel his rage boiling inside, but he is able to control it, just as he tries to teach Atreus to control his own fear. Atreus suggests that the pair visit the old seer, who may know more about the clan.
Hey, what's cracking? How you doing? Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah? I'm walking here.
Kratos agrees, and
How you
Atreus
doing?
leads the way.
How you doing?
Once they arrive at her hut, Kratos speaks with the seer, who reveals that the men are known as berserkers, who receive their strength from their own fury, focusing it through a totem they worship. Kratos asks the location of the totem, and the seer only states that she can reveal the location through a ritual she must perform. Kratos and Atreus wait outside for her answer, and soon she shows them the way to the totem, warning Kratos that he must control his own anger in order to defeat the berserkers. Kratos leaves Atreus with the seer and journeys to the berserkers' camp, where he finds their sacred totem. While Kratos initially tries to sneak past the sleeping berserkers to destroy their idol, one awakens and alerts the rest, as they transform into their bear-like forms. Kratos' rage immediately burns white hot, and he attempts to fight the Horde, only to find their own strength surpassing his. Finding himself unable to use his brute strength alone, Kratos remembers the seer's words and centers himself.
I was just about to pause and say it must be so shitty to have like the power of transforming into a bear just to get dog walked by a random buff guy. But then they actually were strong, so never mind.
Controlling his rage and thinking
success.
Hey,
oh my god.
Finally free from work. It was terrible. An old man just started screaming at me and stomping his feet. Had a full-on temper tantrum cause I wouldn't let him into the junior theater to see Sheep Detective. We're not allowed to let anyone without kids in there for the kids' safety. Krisher thump.
That actually surprises me. Wait, why is that the case? Isn't it like I know it looks like I heard Sheep Detective. Yeah, I thought it was like a more. I know it's like animals talking and whatnot, but I thought it was actually a more not adultish, but I thought it was just more like family friendly overall, not specifically geared towards kids. Starts screaming at me. You should punch that old man in the face. Hey, I'll arrive and punch that guy right in the face. Are you gonna be prepared to cry? That's what I was told. I heard it was a really good movie. I heard it was a really good movie. It made a lot of money and everything, regardless if it was playing in a junior theater. Oh, it's a junior theater. Oh, duh. I did not. That is, you know what, Kirby? You're fucking right. Hey, amen to you, hallelujah. But are there other like non-junior theaters? That makes sense. If it's specifically titled a junior theater, that guy's weird. Giant Chaos Beast will go fuck him up. The Queen of the Underworld, the Giant Chaos Beast, group up together. We'll even get a Titan in there. Who's a Titan in here? Skrillex, you're my Titan. I was born exactly for this moment, to fuck up old men. Gross out of that. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. If it's specifically titled a junior theater, that's fucking weird. So, never mind. I'm on board with that again. Not that I was against it by any means. That sounds crazy of me. We're going to go and back that up. Wasn't against that at all. But now I understand it. That's a better way to word things, Critter. Don't pretend like you're against the whatever. It was playing in one other screen, but only at 11 a.m. So he needs to, first of all, that guy, you say older man, he's been up since 4 a.m. Why doesn't he just go to the 11 a.m. one? I mean, come on, dude. I know you've been doing nothing for however long. French Titan, which is even more terrifying. The French Titan. And when you speak, the French Titan of words. That's what you are. A French Titan of words. Tuna. My emotes are great. We just toss that out there. My emotes are great. In 7 days, I get a new subscriber badge, I think. Something like that. I'll be a tier 4. Tier 3, a 9-year subscriber badge. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. He came in around 11:30 a.m. Fuck him up, Lucy Lou. Fuck him up. Beat his ass. Critter Blink is great. I actually got that emote from somebody else, though, because they had an emote that was like that, and I was like, can I copy that? And they're like, please do. So I copied it, and I think it's fantastic. Same thing with this. Oh. I don't know why I don't have a Critter No, but I should probably have a Critter No. Doki Doki. I actually need to go back through and play Doki Doki as well. I really do. Really do. Is that thumb's on the wrong side, no? Just realized that. I guess not, because it's like this. I don't know. It's a cool theater, though. He has a full playlist, play place inside. Isn't it? Or am I tripping? A full play place inside. Yeah, this seems like a place where if it's got a full play place inside in a junior theater, you figure it's not exactly one where this old guy needs to be going and hanging out. just a thought. All right, we're getting back to this. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to back it up again. I'm going to back it up a bit. Boom. And then we're good. We're going.
Kratos remembers the seer's words.
First, Lucy Lou, first, thank you for the 100 bits. Chat, appreciate y'all. Sorry that you had to deal with that at work. Fuck that guy up, for real. No, fuck that guy spiritually and emotionally, just like how Zeus tried to torment Kratos. I hope he gets reminded of this every day. That's his Kratos moment of killing his daughter and wife. Not quite the same. I don't know what I'm yapping now. All right, we're pressing play.
And centers himself, controlling his rage and thinking quickly to destroy the totem, transforming the berserkers back to their human forms.
Damn, crazy eyes over there.
Able to kill before burning their encampment to the ground.
Fire.
Back in the seer's hut, the old woman gives Atreus a mysterious knife, telling him he must use it soon. Before he can ask what she means, a berserker arrives in the hut and attacks the seer. Kratos arrives shortly after and snaps the man's neck, instantly killing him. As she lays dying, the seer asks Kratos to take care of her remains, before warning him that while he is able to defeat his enemies with ease, one day he'll have to conquer himself. Kratos exits the woman's hut, and he and Atreus build a funeral pyre for the seer's body. As they walk back home, Kratos tells his son, as well as himself, that from now on, he'll handle the fighting. Not too long after, a dying Fae asks Kratos to scatter her ashes at the highest peak in the 9 realms. After she passes, Kratos uses her weapon, the Leviathan axe, to chop down a tree marked with her handprint to use for assembling her funeral pyre.
Do we know how she dies? Is that a dumb question? We got to keep in mind, it has been a very long time of playing both Ragnarok and 2018. I think altogether I've got like 70 something, maybe 80, maybe even more hours. I just know she was sick, but is there is a curse? Like in a world of curses and gods and wizardry and bullshit, along with backstabbing and fuckery, I'm curious at what it kind of was, but I don't think the game's ever explained it. And if they did, it was probably so many hours ago that I don't remember. The story in and of itself is pretty complicated up to this point. And even so, 2018 and Ragnarok get even more crazy. Food poisoning. Right. Didn't cook her wolf, rabbit, bunny, whatever the hell they're eating, didn't cook it good enough. That's what it makes sense. Sorry, thank you.
While cremating Faye's body, Atreus notices her knife
Intense
and grabs
cavities,
it, burning
true.
his hand in the process.
Dumbass.
Kratos nurses Atreus' wound, giving the boy his mother's knife.
Boy.
Knowing that now it is his sole responsibility to raise his son, Kratos takes Atreus hunting to prove himself.
Boy.
Atreus grabs his bow, and the pair go looking for deer while Faye's body burns. While Atreus finds...
I've kind of forgot how quickly Kratos just fucking flips a switch there, and he's like, boy, we need to go hunt. Do you know what I mean? I forgot how fast that gets
the
on.
Deer, he's unable to
he just got tossed in there.
Hit it as it runs off. As the pair track the deer,
oh, Draugr!
Undead Draugrs, which Atreus notes have
Draugr!
never come that
Father,
close to their home
help!
before. After Kratos fights them off,
the axe is so
pair
cool.
continue to chase after the deer.
Everything's so cool.
When they find it, Kratos helps his son aim his bow to finally hit and take down their prey.
W father.
As Kratos and Atreus run over to kill the deer, a giant troll attacks, forcing the father and son to fight it off.
This game's so good. Oh my gosh.
Kratos takes the creature down, with Atreus providing support with his bow.
Boom.
After Kratos kills the troll, Atreus runs over and slashes at its
corpse,
unleashing
get him!
his own rage
Let's
and
go!
frustration, which causes Kratos to believe he is not yet ready to carry his mother's remains to their destination, despite the boy's protest, claiming that his sickness won't hinder him. They return home, and Kratos collects Faye's ashes into a pouch, solemnly giving his wife one last goodbye. Inside their house, Kratos speaks with Atreus about controlling his anger to use it as a strength instead of a weakness, warning him that their path ahead will be difficult.
It is also funny that he's saying this, because, I mean, in the moment, I thought maybe Kratos was a little more secured emotionally than he actually is. But as you can tell, going through 2018 and Ragnarok, he's still trying to fight himself as well. I guess they both do it side by side, right? They both have the character development in regards to controlling their emotions and finding out who they are, really becoming to terms with who they are throughout the entirety of the thing. But at this point, I just assumed Kratos with beard equals secure and like normal Kratos, where he's just got shit figured out. Not the case. Definitely not the case. Great. What a beautiful story. Also, comparing how this looks, what are we at right here? We're at 1:10:54. Let's go pretty far back. We don't have to go super far. I'm gonna click and we're gonna go back to 1:10:54. Comparing this to this is crazy. Like, I know a lot of time has passed in between these. Hold on. I know a lot of time has passed in between these, but when you finally get to visualize it like back to back with the click of a little mouse like this, from here to this, absolutely insane. Technology in video games are so cool.
Path ahead will be difficult. The pair then hear a strange man outside yelling at them to come out, as he knows what they are.
Uh-oh.
Kratos hides Atreus under the floorboards before exiting the house to confront the man.
Mormons. Oh.
The stranger comments that he thought Kratos would be bigger, before attempting to goad him into a fight. Kratos attempts to defuse the situation, but when the stranger refuses to leave, Kratos throws a punch. The stranger shrugs it off and delivers his own, powerfully propelling Kratos into the air and
powerfully
prompting a battle between the two.
Love that.
While the man has his own godlike powers, along with an extreme resistance to pain, Kratos is able to hold his own.
Extreme resistance? He feels no pain.
Kratos' home, the stranger notices two beds inside and decides to investigate who Kratos is hiding inside. After trapping Kratos under a pile of rubble, the stranger advances towards the
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Rage, allowing him to rush at the man with the full extent of his godlike power. As the battle draws to a close, the stranger reveals that Odin, the Norse god and all-father, sent him to find answers. He then reveals that he can't feel any of the pain Kratos is inflicting on him, forcing him to snap the stranger's neck before throwing him off a nearby cliff.
That's crazy.
Now knowing that their home is no longer safe, Kratos returns and collects Atreus, taking him with him to embark on their journey to the peak of the highest mountain. On their way up the mountain, Kratos and Atreus reach an overlook where they see that a protective stave was placed around the woods where they lived, but it was broken where Kratos cut down the tree adorned with Faye's handprint.
How did he not think of that? How did he not think that that would fuck everything up? Like, that was the entire purpose of all that. It's not like the handprint's hidden, or like he didn't know exactly what tree. Kratos, you might be a badass, but you're fucking dumb. On top of that, I did initially think 2018 Ragnarok story, fucking balls to the wall, wild craziness, and all that wild shit that you could ever say. Other vocabulary words and buzzwords. But now looking at it, it's really tame in comparison to what he was previously going through. Like, obviously, I would say obviously there was a lot more that just had to happen between all the different gods. I think Norse mythology in general just seems to have less for like the upper echelon of gods. But damn, it's starting to look like light work for him now in comparison to what he's been through.
Which allowed the stranger to enter. While Kratos is confused as to why Faye would have him cut down the tree protecting their home, the pair nonetheless carry on. Shortly after, the pair are ambushed by a cannibalistic group called the Reavers, and Atreus is forced to kill one of them to protect himself.
Fire.
An act that takes a heavy toll on the boy's consciousness. Kratos tries to convince the boy that he was forced to take the man's
He's
life
so
to protect his
small,
own,
dude.
before the Reavers' corpses rise from the dead as Hellwalkers, which the pair fight and defeat again. Continuing on their way, Kratos and Atreus meet a dwarf named Brock, who claims that he and his estranged brother created Faye's Leviathan axe, presenting his brand as proof. Kratos then lets Brock improve the axe, which he is soon able to test out. Further up their path, Atreus spots a strange boar, and draws his bow to practice hunting once again. After his arrow simply bounces off the animal's hide, Atreus gets after it, piercing its skin but losing Kratos after chasing.
R.I.P. the goat Brock.
When Kratos finds the boy, he is being scolded by a woman, known as the Witch of the Woods, who chastises the men for attempting to kill the last of the boar's kind. Kratos helps to nurse the boar before carrying it back to the witch's home.
Dude, what a beautiful
the witch sends
game.
Atreus to find supplies for
So
medication,
pretty.
while Kratos stays behind. The woman reveals that she knows the man's true nature, as well as his son's, and she questions his decision to hide that fact from the boy. She warns Kratos that once the gods of this realm find him, they'll be in grave danger, but Kratos simply states that it's his problem to deal with. After Atreus and Kratos retrieve the materials for the medicine, the witch offers her thanks by giving them marks which will hide them from the gods. She then opens a shortcut for them to pass through before they say their goodbyes.
I actually forgot that. Check out the marks. I think throughout the game I constantly wondered, like, is Odin not watching? Is everybody not watching? But I forgot Freya's really early on into the game, and she's an ally for quite some time, but the little mark was something that I just completely skipped my mind.
The pair find a boat and row to the giant.
Makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense
now.
now.
They find a rune which Atreus translates to read, "Sacrifice your arms to the center of the..."
I need to get water. Oh, we are almost halfway through, chat. Oh my god, I need to get water. Holy shit. God, or does this count as water in a way? Nah, I'll get water. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Dad's gone, party time. Hey, you stop shaking ass in my home. You don't know how hard I'm working to put food on the table. Yerd. And you're disrespecting my kind. I don't know where I'm going with this, if I'm being honest with you. Zero clue where I'm going with this. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back to this, and then we go. Don't look at me like that, huh? All right. We got water. I don't like cold water. I like room temperature water. It's better for your throat. And they call me the throat goat around here. I would know. I'm out of breath going up those stairs. God. I'm out of breath. Hold on. For those of you who stick with me through all of this, we have another. We're almost halfway. I'll probably stop pausing. Well, I definitely won't pause as much for the later half because I know 2018 and Ragnarok. I've been trying to work out for like 45 minutes, but only do 2 exercises. Get on your shit. Get on your shit. You know 2018 and you know Ragnarok. So, is that your new title, Throat Goat? No. King of the Underworld, Throat Goat. Throat Goat sounds like a porn award. Yeah, there was a. It's kind of like a joke at this point, I guess. I don't even know where it came from. There was a dude on TikTok who got goat tattooed across his throat, and ever since I seen that a couple years back, throat goat is just now a thing, I guess. I don't know why you would ever get that word specifically across your throat, but since then, throat tattoos get made fun of so much. It's goat throat because you could scream like one. Okay, that's different. I didn't get it tattooed. I don't know. After that, everybody started making fun of throat tattoos so heavy. Not everybody on TikTok. Normal people can see that some tattoos are cool. But dude, he just literally, it just said goat. Like massive letters. Not even small, massive letters just said goat. By the way, it still blows my mind Mooney has the critter thing tattooed on her. Insane. All right, we're backing up real quick.
Water.
Why are you thinking about my throat? That's what somebody told me that. They said I got that demon throat. Because I have a demon on my throat. And it said, and I responded to this, why are you thinking about other men sucking your dick or whatever? And he deleted his comment. He didn't like that got flipped on him. He deleted his comment real quick. And I was like, wait a minute, you just see a tattoo and you immediately think of that? I made fun of throat tattoos after Undertaker divorced his wife. Sir was tattooed on his throat. See, I wouldn't get a name on me. I don't care who it is. I'm not getting a name on me. That's a whole different story and whatever else. At least I got really cool horns, you know? Chat. All my tattoos have meaning and they all have like stories behind them or like specific like ideals and morals or whatever ways of life that I would really like to like focus my being around. My dragon, I was allowed to get the outline, but I was not allowed to finish the dragon until I got my journeyman license, which now I do. After passing that test, I can now get my full dragon finished. So that's cool. I need money first to do that, but that's cool. So like, honestly, I think I'm probably like another session. Dragons take a while. Probably like another 2 sessions, like another $2,000 and I can finish my dragon. I only allow myself, when I think of the tattoos or when I initially planned all this out, because they all go together, I only allowed myself to get these tattoos based off of certain moments in my life. The Phoenix represents a very big part of my life. The tigers, everything, all of them very specific to moments in my life. Good reminders, kind of, I might as well be Kratos. Good reminders of parts of my life that I would like to hold very near and dear to my heart and who I am as a person. And the dragon was one of the bigger ones. And yeah, now it's no longer going to be an outline, probably within like this next year. I realize I'm tanning pretty terribly too. I'm missing some chat. During one of the meet and greets we did, the girl in front of me wanted the guy to sign her shoulder so she could get it tatted over. So I shouted, "No pressure," like an asshole. That's crazy to me. But again, somebody has my logo, my mascot tatted on them right now. 2 people technically do. Only one of them hangs on the channel still. But that's crazy to me. But I did say you don't have to worry about me being on the news for like texting a minor or some shit like that. At least, at the very least, you'll never have to worry about that. Because I'm so far and above that as a person, I actually have a brain. So that's cool. Crit, we need donos and gifted subs for what? Oh, for my tattoo? We need a tattoo fund? No. I think one of my big things for these tattoos is, I mean, I guess it would be pretty cool. I guess the meaning behind it, like my community funding one of my tattoos would be pretty cool, but I've always wanted it to be specifically my own like funding. I've never allowed anybody to buy a tattoo for me. I've never allowed anybody to like even be somewhat a little bit part of the contribution to my tattoos. I've always felt like they needed to be like a me thing specifically. But I think you guys contributing to that, which I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But you guys contributing to that would also have a pretty cool meaning behind it. You know, you guys contributed to like who like part of this final version of me. The dragon is the big wise human, whatever. Me and Skull playing frisbee golf at 3 a.m. in the forest. Excuse me, what? What? That's not a normal sentence. What? Like what? Like just by yourself, or like at an actual course or something? I remember when you got your dragon. So it's been so long that I've had this dragon and everything else and whatever. Like it's all worked out, but by ourselves with only one frisbee. Is it really? You guys are meant to be. My shoes are wet. Yeah, you guys are meant to be. Couple little freaks of nature. Being able to pay someone with content money, another deep meaning. That's also what I was kind of thinking as well. Jamie, that's kind of where my mind was going. It would be different if like people were just giving me money for nothing. Somebody was like, hey, let me pay for that. But it's like content money would be pretty cool to spend it on. You know what I mean? I could technically use my next paycheck. I'm going to wait till the end of summer anyways. Probably save up a little bit more of the content money, but I do like to put the content money right back into it. Anyways, we got a long video. We're going to press play again. Appreciate you guys. That was just a cool little thing that I wanted to tell you guys, and thinking about all the tattoos and whatever else. Fun little tidbit. All right, we're pressing play.
They find a rune which Atreus translates to read, sacrifice your arms to the center of the water, awaken again the cradle of the world. Kratos then throws the axe into the water, awakening the giant world serpent, Jormungandr, from its deep sleep.
My boy, I like it. I didn't even notice his little nostrils moving. Look at him.
Giant world serpent, Jormungandr, from its deep sleep.
That boy waving.
The axe returns to Kratos, and as the serpent leaves, the water level of the lake drops, allowing the two to find the temple of the Norse god of war, Tyr, where they again meet Brock. Traversing through the temple, Kratos and Atreus emerge back on the path to the mountain to find another dwarf, Sindri, who also enhances the Leviathan axe.
Fuck that guy.
Soon the pair
we love Sindri. We love Sindri,
which they defeat to finally reach the base of the tall mountain. As they arrive, however,
this takes me
find
back.
Their path blocked by a cloud of black breath. Surprisingly, the Witch of the Woods arrives and tells them that the only thing that can clear the black breath is the light of Alfheim. She leads them back to Tyr's temple, where she shows them a room they can use to travel between the realms. Inside,
this is the scene that like made me realize how amazing 10 out of 10 cinematic God of War was going to be. Because this is one of the most beautiful shots in any video game I've ever played ever. This is, the way they do this is gorgeous.
Inside the realm travel room, the witch gives Kratos a Bifrost, an object that will allow him to travel between
It's so
realms,
simple, but so well done.
Capture the light of Alfheim. Kratos places the Bifrost inside the room's pedestal, and he turns the temple and its bridge outside to travel to the realm of Alfheim. As the group pass back through the temple to emerge in Alfheim, however, the witch is suddenly pulled from the realm.
No!
And she tries to give Kratos a warning about the light, but is interrupted as the doors of the temple lock behind her. Kratos and Atreus travel towards the light of Alfheim and encounter the light and dark elves of the realm, engaged in an endless war. The pair fight through the hostile Dark Elves to reach the central chamber and the source of the light. Kratos enters the light, handing the Leviathan axe to Atreus beforehand. Inside the light, Kratos sees a vision of his journey where he hears Atreus speaking to Faye about his resentment over his father's distance towards him. Kratos then sees Faye, but before he can reach her, he is yanked out of the light by Atreus. The rattled boy yells at Kratos for how long he was inside the light.
How long was he actually gone,
only inside for mere moments, he looks around to see the remnants of a battle between Atreus and several of the Dark Elves. While Atreus is initially angered by his father abandoning him, the pair press on, with Kratos imbuing his bow with the power of the light of Alfheim that's now contained in the Bifrost. Using this new ability, Atreus and Kratos are able to exit, allowing the remaining Light Elves to re-enter the area. As the pair make their way back to Tyr's temple, they are attacked by the Dark Elf King, who they are able to work together to swiftly defeat. Afterwards, Atreus asks Kratos if he saw Faye in the light, but angrily states that he wouldn't even care if he did, prompting a quick fight between the two, where
Elves, by the way, suck. Every single elf. All the elves in God of War suck. They are terrible. I hate those fights. Annoying. Just had to get that out. Sorry, just had to let that one out.
Kratos reveals that he grieves in his own way. The father and son reconcile, reaching a slightly better understanding of one another.
Bye, Sakura. We love you.
Kratos and Atreus return to the Realm Travel Room and use the Bifrost to return to Midgard, where they make their way back to the mountain. Kratos clears the Black Breath using the light inside the Bifrost, and the pair are able to make their way inside the mountain, discussing and learning about the giants of Jotunheim who had disappeared from Midgard long ago on their way. After making their way up a tall shaft, being attacked by various enemies on the way, the pair are confronted by a giant dragon. While they are able to escape from it, when they leave the mountain's caverns, they find the dragon outside, attacking Sindri. Kratos battles the dragon, killing it with Atreus' help. To express his gratitude for saving him, Sindri gives Atreus a bundle of braided mistletoe arrows before asking Kratos to retrieve a tooth from the dragon, which he then uses to imbue Atreus' bow with lightning powers. Further up the mountain,
I like the
Kratos
lightning
helps
more.
Atreus repair his quiver's strap using some of the mistletoe from the arrows. The pair soon spot the stranger who attacked their home, along with two other men speaking to a man with one glowing eye trapped inside of a tree growing around him. The stranger, revealed to be one of Odin's sons, named Balder, probes the man about where Kratos.
It was Balder, Modi, and Murray? Who that? What was the other guy? M-U-R-I? What was his
is headed, but the man claims to not know. After Balder and his accomplices leave, Kratos speaks to the man in the tree,
thank
who
you.
introduces himself as Mimir,
Mimir!
the smartest man alive.
My goat.
Mimir reveals that the highest peak in the 9 realms isn't the mountain they're currently on, but rather one in the realm of the giants, Jotunheim. He further explains that only one bridge to Jotunheim still exists, but it is locked away with a rune that only a giant would know. Atreus states that all of the giants left Midgard long ago, but Mimir offers to help them speak with the only remaining one. Mimir then tells Kratos to cut off his head, instructing him to take it to the Witch of the Woods to have her reanimated. Before Kratos does so, Mimir warns him not to keep his secret from Atreus, as the longer he waits, the more damage he does to the boy's psyche. Kratos cuts off Mimir's head and takes it back to the witch. When he and Atreus arrive, the witch spots the boy's mistletoe arrows and demands he give them to her, which he does, before she promptly burns them and warns them about their danger.
The only
Afterwards,
weakness.
she helps Kratos revive Mimir's head.
It's cool seeing
and
that
the
back.
disembodied man recognizes the witch as the goddess Freya.
Oh,
Odin's former
damn!
wife,
That has to be a mod.
disembodied man recognizes the witch as the goddess Freya.
God, that was a lot. Fucking Shamu over here. Fucking
Odin's former
damn.
wife, something Kratos becomes angered at her for keeping secret, but she quickly points out his hypocrisy. Kratos and Atreus leave Freya's home once again, now with the company of Mimir, or at least his head, who asks to take him to Tyr's temple.
I'm still
where he can
mad.
Speak to the last remaining
They
giant
can't
in
give him a
Midgard,
body. That
none
boy
other
deserves a
than
body.
The World Serpent.
After all he's been through, he
At the
deserves a
temple,
body.
Mimir blows a giant horn, summoning the World Serpent. He speaks with the giant who aligns the tower's bridge to where they need to go, the location of a magical chisel that will allow them to draw the rune that
What
will
an
open the
insane
gate to
scale.
Jotunheim.
This game does scaling very well between all the giant things like Yorman or even just the mountains and like the realms above and beyond. Like, dude, it does it all so well. Bark. Bark, bark. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta go shut a dog up permanently. I'm kidding. No more barking. Woo! Put his head on a body with some super glue. I mean, that's what my thinking was. My thinking was they could give him a body that might not be like his real body and attached to it, but at least conjuring of something. You know what I mean? Like make it out of like really magical metal or stone, but he can control it and whatever else. That would be pretty cool.
The trio head to the corpse of the chisel's former owner, the giant Thamor. Kratos and Atreus climb the dead giant's hammer, releasing it from the chains holding it up, causing it to fall and smash through the frozen tundra below, allowing the pair to make their way to the chisel. On their way, however, they hear the voices of the two men that were with the stranger when he confronted Mimir, Modi and Magni, two sons of Odin's son Thor. While they try to avoid the two demigods, Modi and Magni soon find Kratos and Atreus, prompting a long and grueling battle. During the battle, Modi taunts Atreus by speaking ill of his mother, which causes the boy to lose control of his anger and go after him. Kratos, meanwhile, violently kills Magni, forcing Modi to run off.
What an execution.
Afterwards, Atreus collapses from his sickness, but the pair press on. After reaching the buried chalice, Kratos is able to break off a piece for his own use, and the pair leave, with Mimir warning Kratos that there will be repercussions for killing Thor's son. Mimir surmises that they'll be able to learn the giant's secret rune by finding it in Tyr's hidden vault.
This game is gorgeous. I will never get over it. Mouse, check this out. I did this specifically because, well, it's fucking awesome. I think I've got a lot of scenes from this, which I probably don't need this many, but having that big boy over there with his ear twitching, I love that shit. Not quite all of his Skrillex, but close enough. Fenrir, and then Fenrir's gone. And then Fenrir's gone. But hey, all that matters is I felt like I wasn't using my green screen enough, so I was like, we need to like up the playing field a little bit. Oh, I have the wrong thing on. Well, I do, but I don't. Does that make sense? You can click that off. The toe beans? His little toe beans? Or what? Cheese. Yeah. this is how much I love this game. I need to use, you know what one I actually really do like? Is this one. This is probably like my favorite. No, they would say it definitely is my favorite. Other than Sindri's house is pretty good. But this one's so peaceful. Oh, it's so... My... Oh shit, I forgot I was supposed to go to dinner. How much time do we have left? We still have an hour and a half. Oh my god. Oh my, there's still so much story. When is dinner? Dinner's supposed to be 6 o'clock. That's like 30 minutes from now. Fuck. Sir, I forgot. It's supposed to be celebrating me. Has good Taco Tuesday specials. Are we able to do them? I wonder, I wonder if I can do tomorrow. Is that bad? I kind of said today already. That's fine. Oh, fuck. Goodbye. I forgot. Fuck. There's a whole lot of editing to this. Where the fuck is... I don't know what any of these are. Bad Critter? I forgot, but it's dinner with my mom, and she wants to celebrate me passing my test. I kind of have to go. Can continue some... Yeah, at least we'll break up the lore a little bit. The Resident Evil one tomorrow will probably start sooner, because it's taking a little bit longer. Or I just watch the end. I mean, I don't want to watch the end without you guys. We're still probably got about a little bit of this. We still got a little bit. Yo, what's up, Retro Man? Can I get a shout out for Retro Man? Just go then. It's still a while from now. We still got about 30 minutes, 30, 40. We could probably watch about 45 minutes and come back. Is it a YouTube video? You can always come back. Yeah, I completely forgot. That's on me. I apologize. But we can probably get this figured out either tomorrow or whatever. The YouTube video for Resident Evil is only about an hour 52. We could watch another 30 minutes of this, and then we'll go. Can we... Actually, hope you're having an awesome stream so far. We're watching some God of War lore. we're very much into learning, or I am very much into learning all there is about a game and whatnot. And since we just finished God of War, we're now revisiting all of it, the entire story. The God of War 1, 2, and 3, Ragnarok, and everything else far and few between. So, it's been a great stream. I'm enjoying this. It's fun to learn the backstory of Kratos. Kratos has got a really cool story. I'm trying to see what time. God of War lore goes hard. It's crazy. It is pretty crazy. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna get back to this. We might be able to finish today. We're gonna lock in. We're gonna get this finished today. We're gonna stop pausing, getting distracted by random shit. Well, why did I pause to talk about this?
Below the temple.
I don't know why I paused to talk about this. What is happening here? Why did my screen mess up? Hello? I don't know what's happening. I feel like with your voice, you could do a voiceover for a character in the games. I would very much like to. The amount of times I went through this saying, boy, like Kratos does, too many times to count. Too many times to count. It might be 7 for dinner. I don't know. Either way, we're going to play this for now, and then we'll see whatever heck happens. Chat, we're locking in. We got an hour 20 left, and we should be able to finish it. I'm not going to try and interrupt the flow too much, but it gives me about 20-30 minutes of being able to pause. So we'll see what's up. Chat, we're pressing play.
That they'll be able to learn the giant's secret rune by finding it in Tyr's hidden vault below the temple, and they head there to investigate. Using the chisel, Kratos is able to find the vault, where he and Atreus are soon ambushed by Modi. The demigod insults Faye once again, causing Atreus to lunge at him. While Modi
Yeah, the gods are not very smart. You just had a 2v2 earlier, and you lost. And now you're going for the 1v2? Like, come on.
simply smacks him aside.
Thank you, Retroman. I appreciate
Atreus'
you.
rage finally boils over, and he has his own moment of Spartan rage.
Let's go!
Overwhelming him and causing him to collapse.
Oh.
Kratos' own
I thought he was going to turn into a bear.
Hold, and he overpowers Modi, taking his weapons and causing him to flee once again.
Looked like
grabs
he
the
just shit
unconscious
himself.
Atreus and takes him back to Freya at Mimir's suggestion. On their way, Kratos hears someone blowing the world serpent's horn. When he reaches Freya's hut, the witch reveals that Atreus' true nature is fighting within him, and Kratos keeping it a secret is what is causing the boy's illness. To help him,
that
Kratos
armor is
sends
disgusting.
Kratos to the realm
Retro,
of
thank you for the
dead,
bits. Appreciate you, man.
to
And the
retrieve
7 stream
Bridgekeeper's
streak.
heart. However, due to the realm's frigid nature, Freya warns that the Leviathan axe will be useless against the enemies Kratos will face there. Knowing that Kratos must use the only weapon in the 9 realms that can create a flame, he leaves Atreus in Freya's care and returns home.
That is probably the most atrocious armor we could have given Kratos. That's my only one demerit for this video so far.
On his way, Kratos witnesses a haunting vision of someone from his past, the Olympian goddess Athena, who he is able to temporarily shake.
She looks so cool.
When Kratos reaches his home, he retrieves what he came for, the Blades of Chaos, which he buried underneath the house decades prior when he found that he could not escape them.
I wish I did know the lore, I think, before getting into Ragnarok in 2018, specifically because picking up these blades would have impacted so much more. To me, it was just a very cool weapon from Kratos' past. If I would have played this game, I think after knowing the lore, it would have been like, holy shit. Like, this is a lot to deal with. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, like this is a ride. This is an emotional roller coaster of a weapon.
Athena appears before him once again and taunts Kratos, claiming that he'll never be able to change and will forever be a monster. Kratos accepts this fate, but claims that at least he's no longer her monster.
True.
With the blades returned to his
Kratos had a
wrists,
good
Kratos
one-liners.
makes his way back to Tyr's temple, where he uses the realm travel room to reach Helheim. There, Mimir notices that Hel has become overwhelmed with the dead. They eventually reach the Bridge of the Damned, where Kratos fights the Bridgekeeper. After killing the large creature, he's able to rip out its heart to take back to Freya. As he goes to leave the realm, Kratos spots an illusion of his father, Zeus, beyond the bridge. but Mimir warns him not to go there,
Said
stating that
Zeus.
hell is known to torment its inhabitants with their pasts. On their way back to Midgard, Mimir realizes that Kratos is the legendary ghost of Sparta, and he also encourages him to tell Atreus about his true nature.
No big
stating
deal.
that because Kratos hates all gods, that includes his own son, and Atreus consents it, and it will only harm their relationship the longer it's kept secret. Kratos brushes this off and returns to Freya's home. Kratos gives Freya the heart, and she tells him that the only way to fully heal Atreus is by telling him the truth. Freya then confides in Kratos and tells him about her own son, who was prophesied to die a needless death.
Oh, he looks
forcing her to make a
way
sacrifice
worse
to protect him, which only led to his
than I
resentment of
remember.
her and drove him away. After Freya uses the heart to heal Atreus, the boy awakens and the pair leave, with Kratos giving his thanks to the witch on their way. As the father and son make their way
Power
back to
couple,
Tyr's
for real.
vault, Atreus grows distant. Kratos asks him about this, and the boy reveals that he overheard part of his father's conversation with Freya, interpreting it to mean that Kratos is disappointed in his son for being weak. Kratos finally gives in and tells his son the truth.
The
He's a
soundtrack.
god from a faraway land. Kratos reveals that when he arrived in Midgard, he chose to live as a man, but in truth, he was born a god, as was Atreus. Atreus is shocked with this revelation and asks if his mother was a god as well, and Kratos responds that she was only a mortal. When asked why he waited so long to reveal the truth, Kratos tells his son that he had hoped to spare him of the lifetime of tragedy that he himself went through. On their way back to the vault, Atreus notes that he doesn't have any godly powers yet, but Mimir theorizes that the boy's faculty for language is one of them. The pair are finally able to descend below Tyr's temple to his vault.
And from here on out, Atreus becomes asshole Atreus, and we all hate him. Beautiful storytelling.
And look for the Black Rune. In a room full of treasure from the various lands, Kratos finds a bottle of wine from his homeland, and next to it, a vase depicting his days as the god of war, which he quickly tosses aside, breaking it upon the ground.
So
When the pair
funny
find the rune,
scene.
they must lower it to retrieve it. As Kratos operates the mechanism, however, he is caught in a vine-like trap. Atreus is forced to quickly solve a puzzle related to the prophesized apocalyptic event known as Ragnarok, but when he does so, spikes begin to descend from the ceiling. Atreus is then forced to use his mother's knife to jam the gears operating the spike trap, saving his father, but destroying the boy's heirloom in the process. When the pair finally
Wait, they skipped the part of the puzzle where you have to do it 12 times because the person playing is too dumb to figure. That doesn't happen to everybody? Where's that part? What do you mean?
reach the rune, Kratos gives Atreus a new knife, one he forged himself from metals from his own land, as well as Faye's, on the day of his son's birth, with the intention of gifting it to him when he was ready to use it. Atreus then uses the knife to retrieve the rune, and he takes note of it before the pair are attacked by a pair of two large trolls. After the battle, the pair return to the surface, and Kratos gives Atreus a drink of the wine he found from his homeland on the way.
W father.
Kratos and Atreus make their way back to the gateway to Jotunheim, seeing Sindri on their way. Atreus, now arrogant and empowered by his knowledge of being a god, insults the dwarf, leaving him visibly hurt.
That is the one line that he said that kind of got things rolling in a good direction, but it also just pissed me off. Whenever I thought about how mad Atreus made me, it was this one line that just kept ringing in my head. One second. Okay, we have another hour of watching this, and then I gotta go, which means we'll be about 20 minutes with how I pause. We'll probably be like 20 to 25 minutes off of being done, and then we can go from there.
This leads Kratos to ask how his mother would react to Atreus behaving this way, but the boy brushes it off, implying that her opinion wouldn't matter seeing as she wasn't a god. Kratos, retorting that she was better than a god, warns his son against dishonoring his mother. As they enter the caverns in the mountain, Kratos and Atreus are again stopped by Modi, now badly beaten by his father, Thor, who had blamed him for his brother's death. The man collapses, and Atreus goes to kill the man for what he said about his mother. Kratos simply states that he isn't worth it, but when Modi makes one final insult towards Faye, Atreus stabs him in the neck with his new blade before kicking him off a nearby ledge. Kratos scolds the boy for killing an already defeated enemy in indulgence instead of in defense, and he further warns that there are especially consequences for killing gods.
So this part, obviously, Atreus eventually talked about not realizing what he did. He doesn't remember any of this. The details behind that, though, I mean, we know he's Loki, but what exactly is the reasoning behind that? I hope they go into detail about this, because I didn't figure out the puzzle behind that. Or if they told me, I completely forgot.
The two reach the summit of the mountain, and Atreus draws the rune on the gateway.
Hopefully somebody doesn't
Kratos
show
uses
up
the chisel to
and
trace
fuck
it
this all
and
up.
open the portal to Jotunheim. Before they can enter, however,
Nope.
Kratos is ambushed by Baldur, and when Atreus attempts to help, he reveals that he is also a god, but is quickly overpowered. Kratos grabs Baldur and slams him into the stone gate, collapsing it and destroying their only way to Jotunheim. Atreus tries to fight, but Kratos holds him back, forcing the boy to shoot his father with one of his lightning arrows to subdue him. Atreus then rushes at Baldur, stabbing him with his knife, but the invincible man simply pulls it out of his arm and plants it in Atreus's, grabbing the boy and jumping off the mountain. Kratos follows and lands on Baldur's dragon, where he fights the man, eventually getting knocked off the dragon to the bridge of Tyr's temple below. Kratos runs inside the temple and reaches the realm travel room, where he finds that Baldur has locked in the bridge to the realm of Asgard, the home of Odin and the other gods of his tribe. Kratos struggles to insert his Bifrost and instead locks the bridge into Helheim, where he, Atreus, and Baldur are violently sucked in. There, Kratos is able to knock Baldur aside, and he and Atreus land safely within the realm. After Kratos scolds his son for acting out of character, asking him to honor his mother and choose the right path, the pair work their way to a boat they can use to get back to Tyr's temple. On their way, the pair experience visions of Atreus' past, Helheim's way of torturing its inhabitants, and the boy watches how he killed Modi in shame.
But doesn't remember somehow.
The pair soon find Baldur reliving one of his own memories, and they learn that he is none other than Freya's estranged son. As it turns out, when she placed a spell on him to make him invincible, he was robbed not only of the feeling of pain, but also any of the pleasures of life. He begged his mother to remove the spell, but knowing it would cause her son's death, she refused. This caused Baldur to strangle his mother, but at the last moment, he allowed her to live, a decision he now regrets. When Kratos and Atreus reach the boat, they begin to see visions of Kratos' past, that of his final battle with Zeus. After getting the boat to set sail upwards towards the bridge, the pair watch the memory of Kratos killing his father, and Atreus is forced to snap his father's attention back to the task at hand as the ship begins to crash.
Son.
The pair jump to a nearby building, crashing through the roof and landing inside of one of Odin's secret chambers.
I forget when he tells him he was the ghost of Sparta.
Atreus finds a panel depicting Tyr somehow traveling to different lands, including Kratos' own homeland. Using the gift of sight granted to him by the giants, Mimir is able to uncover secret plans on the panel to create a key for another chamber Tyr kept hidden, which will lead them to Jotunheim. Hoping to create the key, the group head back to Brock, realizing that when Freya reanimated Mimir's head, she placed a spell on him to never speak about her relationship to Baldur or what his one weakness is. When they reach Brock, he refuses to make the key, but Sindri arrives shortly after to reconcile with his brother and help forge it. Kratos and Atreus find the secret chamber and open it with the key, finding themselves below the realm travel room in a seemingly upside-down room. The pair work to break the chains holding the temple's chambers, and Kratos is able to flip it using his brute strength.
Just no big deal.
When they climb back up to the realm travel room, they find what Tyr was hiding, the Unity Stone, which allowed Tyr to travel within the realm between realms to reach all of the lands he explored. Using the stone, Kratos enters the realm between realms and jumps into the void, landing safely to find the tower to Jotunheim, hidden there by Tyr to protect the realm of the giants. Inside the tower, Kratos finds a pedestal that absorbs the Unity Stone and unleashes various powerful enemies from the various realms Kratos and Atreus traveled. After the grueling battle, the pair emerge from the tower to find themselves back in Midgard, with the tower to Jotunheim returned to a location the Bridge of Tyr's temple can reach.
I still can't get over the visual of this game. Like, every little detail, they spared no cent, no penny, making all of this look so gorgeous. You can just look anywhere and you're going to see detail like no other. It's
when
crazy.
They enter the realm travel room to lock in the bridge, however, Mimir realizes the travel crystal is missing, and in order to travel, the pair will need to find his other eye, which was taken by Odin. They
Phenomenal.
ask Brock and Sindri if they know
Absolutely.
where Mimir's other eye is, and Brock reveals that Odin placed it in a statue of Thor, which Kratos and Atreus saw swallowed by the world serpent. Mimir blows the serpent's horn once again and asks if they can investigate his stomach for the eye, which the ancient giant agrees to, and the group grab their boat and row inside.
What a crazy
There,
scenario.
they're able to find Mimir's eye and return it to his head. Now, with everything required to reach Jotunheim, the pair row their boat back out of the creature. On the way, however, they begin to feel massive blasts outside. Soon, the creature spits them out, and they land nearby as the world serpent falls unconscious. Freya arrives, confused as to what happened to the serpent. She claims to be looking for her son, but is surprised to find Kratos and Atreus meeting her with suspicion. Shortly after, Baldur emerges from the waters nearby, shocked to find his mother with his targets. Baldur threatens his mother, but Kratos steps between them, trying to tell the man that he will find no peace in vengeance. When Baldur refuses to listen, another fight between the two breaks out, with Freya attempting to stop the two.
See, I'm realizing, like, I'm glad we are rewatching a lot of this lore, as we've already finished, like, the 1 through 3 and whatever the heck else there is. But, like, even the little lines like that would hit so much harder. Like, him first grabbing his swords again, his blades of chaos, and then even a line of vengeance, or you'll find no comfort with vengeance, or whatever the heck that line was. I can't even remember what it is. But talking about vengeance now just has so much more impact, knowing where he started and knowing the 30 million times he got backstabbed and decided to go for some vengeance and just kept the cycle going. It's crazy.
Atreus attempts to stop Baldur, but the man delivers a mighty punch to the boy's chest.
I probably should have watched the
Kratos
lore
catches his son,
beforehand.
worried that the boy is covered in blood, which Atreus simply states isn't his. Kratos looks up to see Baldur with the mistletoe from Atreus' repaired quiver lodged in his hand, with the man delighted that he can finally feel something. Nearby, Freya, realizing that the spell protecting her son had been broken by his one weakness, reanimates the corpse of the giant Thamor, which grabs
insane.
them and carries them off to a new location. Baldur follows, and another fight ensues, with the giddy man now enjoying the feeling of battle. While Freya continues to try to use Thamor's body to interrupt the fight, Kratos is able to gain the upper hand, eventually causing the woman to have Thamor use his frosty breath to freeze them. Atreus thinks quickly and uses his abilities to speak the old language of the giants to call upon the now awakened world serpent to take the giant's corpse out of the equation. Afterwards,
It's
Kratos
insane.
begins to strangle Baldur, but Atreus reminds him that he doesn't need to kill a beaten enemy. Kratos gives Baldur one final warning to leave him, Atreus, and Freya alone before walking off. Baldur ignores this warning and approaches his mother, refusing to forgive her, and instead begins to strangle her, which she accepts if it'll make him feel better. Kratos then grabs Baldur and quotes his father Zeus,
It's great.
stating,
Don't
"The
do it.
cycle
Don't
ends
do it."
here," before also stating that we must be better than this, before snapping the man's neck. In his last breath, Baldur sees the snow beginning to fall, as he finally dies his needless death. Freya rushes over to his body and promises Kratos that she will use all of her abilities to punish him for what he has taken from her. She states that Kratos is a cruel and rage-filled animal who will never change, and asks if Atreus knows the true depths of his father's past.
Oh, this is where
Kratos
it
then
does.
reveals
This is
his
where it
true
tells.
history to his son, telling him about the deal he made with a god and how it led him to killing the innocent, the guilty, and even his own father.
Don't forget, wife and kid. They tormented you with that for a while. Lots of illusions, a whole lot of them. You might want to tell your kid you killed the one before him. Just saying,
Atreus asks if he will
tossing
be
that out
cursed to
there.
kill Kratos, but the Spartan simply states that we will be the gods we choose to be, not those who have been. Freya then picks up Baldur's body and walks off without saying another word. The pair return to Tyr's temple one last time and lock in Jotunheim in the realm travel room. Atreus uses Mimir's head to focus the energy to travel, and the door to the realm of the giants is finally unlocked. Mimir requests that they leave him behind so the father and son can have their moment, and Kratos leaves him with Brock and Sindri at the temple.
I would have liked to see what Mimir thought about that prophecy. I think that's my one thing, like, after kind of having a pretty good grasp on most of the story for Ragnarok, I at least know when things, what stuff happens, maybe not when exactly, or like the little tiny details behind Freya being the reason that Kratos told Atreus. Like, I should know that, but I at least know what was going on. But Mimir seeing that prophecy was one that I was really curious what he would be thinking after all that they went through to see, who Loki or who Atreus was as Loki. That would have been pretty fucking interesting because he's got very good insight, as you probably know from playing this game and hearing him talk about all these different stories across all these different realms. His insight into this would have been pretty cool to hear.
As they approach the summit of the mountain, Kratos removes the bandages covering his scars from the Blades of Chaos, claiming that he no longer has anything to hide. He then hands Faye's ashes to Atreus, allowing him to carry them the rest of the way. The pair find a room with statues depicting the giants' exodus from Midgard. They wonder why Faye sent them there, but Atreus touches a wall, revealing a large mural. The pair are shocked to see that the mural depicts Faye, as well as all of the events the father and son had lived through, including the battle that just happened. Kratos surmises that the mural depicts Atreus' story, and that he wasn't the only parent with secrets. Atreus then realizes that Faye was a giant, making him part god, part giant, and part mortal. Kratos also realizes that Baldur was never looking for him, but rather had been sent by Odin to find Faye. As Atreus continues up the mountain, Kratos spots one last panel depicting Atreus screaming in pain while holding a man's dead body.
A man's?
Finally,
a man's dead body? Well, my dead body!
Atreus and Kratos look around to see the remains of dead giants. Kratos, finally calling Atreus son, elects that the two scatter Faye's ashes together. The two then say their goodbyes to Faye as her remains join those of her kind. Afterwards, Atreus reveals one last thing confusing him about the mural. When translated, he was referred to by the giants as Loki.
Crazy.
Kratos recalls
reveal.
that this was the name Faye wanted to give Atreus when he was born, but he elects to save this mystery for another day. Kratos and Atreus return to the Realm Travel Room to regroup with Mimir, and as they return to Midgard, he warns that their actions have accelerated the coming of the great Fimbulwinter.
We assume it's Kratos, but after Ragnarok, I think it was supposed to be Odin the whole time. They thought it was his father, not the All-Father. That's what I'm saying. At the moment, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be dead in Atreus' arms." But we know that it's just Odin, right? But in the I guess what I'm trying to say is, we know that it's Odin. But in the moment, they thought it was Kratos. So he wasn't just like, "Oh, hey, look, some Atreus is with somebody, some random guy." He's like, "With me." And so, like, it was just, to me, the narration on that was a little bit, I don't want to say deceiving, or just a little bit mischaracterized as to what the situation actually was. Because Kratos genuinely thought it was him.
Precedes Ragnarok. Atreus and Kratos return to their home and finally rest. Okay, stop here if you don't want to hear about Ragnarok. Leave a like.
No.
Like first, though. 3 years later, we find Kratos and Atreus braving the harsh conditions of the fabled Fimbulwinter.
The energy was up in his commentary.
As the pair return home from a hunting trip,
hey,
they're attacked
Frey.
by a still vengeful Freya.
Hey, what's up, little Frey?
Formidable foe. They're able to hold her
formidable
off long enough
foe.
to reach the protective stave around
I don't know about that one.
When they
it's
get
kind of
home,
shrugged her off.
Atreus tends to an ailing wolf they've taken in named Fenrir.
Fenrir!
Unfortunately, while the boy is able to cut a piece of meat with his knife to feed the wolf, Kratos convinces his son to let Fenrir rest for good. As Atreus holds Fenrir close, he unknowingly casts a spell, releasing the wolf's spirit, which is then transferred into Atreus' knife. Immediately after the wolf dies, Kratos urges his son to train with him, but an emotional Atreus shouts that simply waiting around for Ragnarok isn't what Loki is supposed to be doing.
I saw it. Oh, does it go into the knife?
Kratos urges his son into Atreus' knife. Immediately after the wolf dies, Kratos urges his son to—
Wait, what do you mean? What did you see? One of the orbs, yeah?
He unknowingly casts a spell, releasing the wolf's spirit, which is then transferred into Atreus.
One stays behind. Wow, great catch. I thought they just kind of faded out, but one, out of all of those,
a spell, releasing the wolf's spirit, which is
one stays right there. Oh my God, 4 orbs are the parts of the soul. True, but one stays behind. That's so cool.
To Atreus' knife. Immediately after the wolf dies, Kratos urges his son to train with him, but an emotional Atreus shouts that simply waiting around for Ragnarok isn't what Loki is supposed to be doing. Kratos refuses to allow his son to make the same mistake he did by waging a war with the gods, but Atreus responds that maybe it's what his mother, Faye, would have wanted. Kratos allows his son to have a moment alone with Fenrir before he buries him, entering their home alone to inform Mimir about the wolf's death, before sleeping for the night. In his dreams, Kratos reunites with his wife, Faye, and relives a time when they had hunted together. In this dream, the pair search for a sick wolf that had entered their protective stave. Faye regrets not acting sooner, but Kratos argues that the problem wasn't theirs until it crossed their doorstep. Faye, however, insists that they should always take responsibility if they have the power to prevent harm, rather than hiding and doing nothing. As they continue through the forest, Kratos helps Faye navigate fallen trees. Briefly losing sight of her,
casual.
Kratos feels a moment of unease before she suddenly reappears with gold paint on her hand, and she places her palm on his forehead. Faye then ominously warns him that time is running out, and there's still much left to do. Kratos is suddenly pulled out of the dream and awakens to learn from Mimir that Atreus never returned from burying Fenrir. Kratos then places Mimir on his hip and goes searching for his son, following his tracks to find one of the trees supporting their protective stave broken, allowing raiders to invade. Kratos keeps following the trail before being attacked by a massive bear called Bjorn. After a fierce battle with the beast, Kratos nearly strangles the bear, but as he does, its form begins to shift to reveal that Bjorn had been Atreus all along.
Just think about after everything he's been through, right? To me, it was like, oh my God, he almost killed his first son. At this point, I don't think I really knew that he had a daughter and a wife that he killed. So to me, it was, hey, he almost killed his only son after just losing his wife. But imagine adding that onto the list of things that he's already fucking been through. Every realm is going straight to fucking ashes, more so than he's already committed in his war crimes of the past. But again, I probably should have watched the lore before 2018 Ragnarok, but I thought I would be able to play the games and learn the lore that way. Appears that's just not the case. It's not that easy. But knowing all of that would have made this stuff hit a lot harder for sure. And I'm going to keep bringing that up in the moments where I think it would really matter. But I won't try to pause too many times for this, because we do most with 2018 Ragnarok is a lot of what we do know already.
As Atreus
or
comes
I
to,
know already.
He reveals that he can't remember anything after burying Fenrir and having his emotions
Exactly,
overwhelm
Jamie.
him.
Exactly.
Kratos ensures his son that he did nothing wrong and reinforces that their training is more important than ever, as they need to fully understand Atreus' abilities before they can use them in combat. While the boy again stresses that he needs to search for the answers his mother kept from them, Kratos sternly holds his ground. The pair then work together to repair the broken stave before heading back home to rest. Soon after, however, the pair are shaken awake by events they dreamed of years prior. Grabbing their weapons, Kratos and Atreus open their door to find an unexpected visitor, the god of thunder himself, Thor, wielding his mighty hammer, Mjolnir. Surprisingly, however, Thor calmly asks if he can come inside their home, offering to share a bottle of mead. Kratos reluctantly allows him inside, and the two sit at a table as Atreus fetches them mugs.
Maybe he doesn't remember killing when little, like he doesn't remember being an animal. Like he had like a small transformation or what? Like the god side came out of him? I feel like, I just always felt like there was like some dormant power of like finding out that he's a god that was awoken there, and that's what caused him to do all the killing. And maybe that's why, because his inner beings were conflicted with each other, but I don't know. I really want to see if there was an answer for that, because I just genuinely don't remember. What's up, Valpa? Welcome. He shapeshifted into an asshole. Exactly. Oh my goodness. What's up, Valpa? We are watching God of War lore, so I got another hour that I got. Oh no, I don't. I have another 45 minutes or so. How much do we have left? It's a long-ass fucking video. We'll probably have about 30 minutes we can watch tomorrow. So, what's up, Nazi? Welcome. We're locking in again, chat. Hold up.
After the two gods place their respective weapons on the table, Thor pours them drinks. Moments later, Thor's father,
Odin action.
ruler of the Aesir, one of the two tribes of Norse gods, arrives unannounced and lets himself in. While the All-Father Odin brushes past the deaths of Thor's sons Magni and Modi, he holds a debt against Kratos for his killing of Balder. When Kratos asks Odin what he wants to pay the debt, the All-Father responds by simply asking for peace, revealing that he knows that Atreus has secretly been searching for Tyr.
See, I also get confused. Maybe it's just an act of arrogance and overconfidence, but why did Odin and Thor not just kill these two right here? He knows what Kratos is capable of, and he knows what Atreus is doing. It would just seem so logical to just take him out.
Whom the boy believes is still alive, despite the Norse god of war's supposed death at Odin's hand. To sweeten the deal, Odin also promises to settle Kratos' score with Freya. Ever defiant, however, Kratos refuses the deal, and Odin exits his house, leaving Thor to take care of Kratos. A vicious battle then ensues between the god of thunder and the killer of gods, with Thor trying to goad Kratos into letting his anger out while they fight across the landscape. When Thor finally states that Odin has plans for Atreus, Kratos unleashes his rage, satisfying the god of thunder, who simply leaves.
Because Odin wants the knowledge still, but I don't think he knew Atreus was for the knowledge, did he, at this point? I guess he does because he invites him back. Would he have known that Atreus was the key to getting the knowledge? And I guess killing Kratos at that point would most likely not be the best way to get Atreus on your side. But at that point, it's like, I know he invites him, but did he know the reasoning? I thought he was just trying to turn him against him for whatever. I don't know.
Brock and Sindri then arrive and help Kratos get back home to check on Atreus. Luckily, he finds his son unharmed, as Odin had simply left the boy with payment for the damages to their home, as well as an invitation to Asgard. Kratos then...
I guess he must have known specifically because of the way that Atreus was trying to search for Tyr. He must have realized he was pretty skilled. And I think, that's what he was talking about, replacing Balder, because Balder was irreplaceable as a hunter, as one of his scouts. So Atreus probably fit the specifications required to be that scout.
Scolds Atreus for hiding his search for Tyr from him, but the boy convinces his father that they'll need all the help they can get to go against Odin and Thor. Atreus then takes Kratos to a nearby temple to show him what he's found that's led him to believe Tyr still lives. There, Atreus shows Kratos one of the shrines of the Jotnar, the giants, that they had previously seen on their journeys. Atreus reveals that he figured out the shrine hid a door that he is able to reveal and open, leading to a realm only giants were meant to see.
Called the Backrooms.
There, Atreus and Kratos see the true fate of the wolf giants Skoll and Hati, who were destined to chase the sun and moon across the skies. Atreus explains that Skoll and Hati were captured by Odin, who had hoped to use them to control the start of Ragnarok.
I just thought it was part of Odin's personality, that he doesn't kill his enemies but traps and tries to hold power over them. Or I guess at the very least, utilize them in ways that they are, like, I guess he sees the usefulness in a god too, huh? Because he's a manipulator, but he's also just smart in general, or I guess holding power over them would be able to use Atreus for what he's good at, or Kratos for what he's good at as well. I mean, that makes sense. He is very much a thinker, not a doer.
Somehow, however, two giants set them free, and now they hide in Vanaheim. The prophecy then states that someone then steals the moon, leaving Hati with nothing to chase. Someone else then rescues the moon, which blocks out the sun, creating a total eclipse. The two wolf giants are then left to chase an arrow. The scene then shifts to Ragnarok, with Odin's army being opposed by another led by the Norse god of war himself, Tyr. This prophecy is what has led Atreus to believe that Tyr was never killed by Odin, but instead simply imprisoned by him. As the two exit the...
Stupid question. Kratos is the champion, right? That we talked about, or is Atreus still the champion? I know the story and how it plays out, but the title of champion did actually end up belonging to Kratos, right? It was Gru both times who stole and put the moons back. Aww. What's up, Easy F, baby? Is that dumb to ask? Fuck, dude. Yeah, don't LOL at me. Just give me an answer. You fucking yelling at me for? I mean, laughing at me for? Help a brother out. God damn. I'm not LOLing you, stupid. Oh. He was Gru both times. What the fuck does that mean? Is that an inside joke I don't get? Who the fuck is Gru? Despicable Me. Minions, tonight we steal the moon. I'm mad that you made that joke.
Shrine, Atreus shows Kratos something
I'm mad
else
you made
he'd
that
found
joke.
in another shrine.
Fuck you.
A marble that Mimir determines must have been
Dude, I'm over here trying to decipher God of War lore and figure out all this shit. And then you're talking about Despicable Me minions. I was like, who's Gru? Which god is that? Is that the god of... It's a god of bullshit and fuckery is what it is, Mari. You said who's Gru? No, Gru. From Despicable Me, the bald dude. That's all I know. Bald... Whatever, the main guy. I was confusing it with God of War, damn it.
Crafted by the giants.
Yeah.
Atreus then reveals that Sindri had been helping him decipher
Atreus is a champion according to my brief. Thank you.
Angering his father.
So Atreus is actually the champion.
Kratos and Mimir determine that if Tyr is imprisoned, it may be in the mines of Svartalfheim, the realm of the dwarves.
Nah.
With the protective stave damaged by Thor's attack, Kratos and Atreus meet with Sindri, who lets them stay in his home in the realm between realms.
Wait, how would he know? Wait. How would Odin? Oh, wait, no. Okay. How would Odin know they were going to Svartalfheim in order to get Tyr and be there beforehand? The dwarf snitched? What? Guys, stop confusing me. It's very easy to confuse me. My brain, there's a hamster in there and that boy doing laps. But that,
As Kratos helps Sindri restore travel between the realms, he learns from Brock that their best bet in learning more about the mines is their cousin Durlin, who Freya once recruited in a failed uprising against the Aesir gods.
Tyr was imprisoned, just not with it. Yeah, so they knew that Tyr was imprisoned, but how did Odin know that that's what they were researching? Because they are hidden now. Maybe the ravens you passed on the way. I guess Odin in general is pretty good with like the scouting part due to the ravens. But they do still have the Freya mark that hides them from the gods. So I guess he just got lucky that he was able to scout us out. Or his thing is knowledge, so he did have the right knowledge at the right time. But imagine he didn't find out. Then we would have just seen an empty cage or whatever prison cell. And then we go on with our days. No big deal. The story just kind of changes entirely. Odin can legit TP around. Yeah, the second he knows, he could just go into one of the prison cells. I guess it's pretty easy to see somebody and then just go exactly where you think they're going. Like, I don't know. To me, it was kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. To me, it seemed just so random that he knew, but he's got the scout power to do so. I don't know.
With some final assistance from Mimir and his Bifrost eyes, the group are able to restore travel between the realms, allowing Kratos and Atreus to open a pathway to Svartalfheim. There,
I still can never
make their way to the local tavern to learn of Durlin's location. Once reaching his location, Kratos and Atreus meet him, who, despite his history with Faye, refuses to go up against Odin and the rest of the Aesir gods. Despite his outward hostility
the mark
towards
got
the
a
two
race?
when they ask about Tyr's location, Durlin secretly gives them directions to a nearby mine. After a treacherous trip to the mine, Kratos and Atreus enter it to find the boys' suspicions confirmed. After exploring deep into the mine, the pair find Tyr,
fuck you,
the Aesir god of war.
I'm still so glad I didn't trust him from the get-go, because now it gets to look really cool when I edit it differently in my YouTube video to make it seem like the entire time I was big braining it.
Alive in the flesh. After freeing the god from his imprisonment, Tyr grows fearful and runs off. The two pursue him, and while Atreus tries to reason with him, Kratos is able to take a stronger approach to convince the Aesir god to come with them.
I don't like when you smile. When you guys start smiling in chat, sometimes it's because I'm so wrong. Other times it's because I'm so right, and my brain just implodes from trying to think of which one it is.
On their way back out of the mines, Tyr reveals
I don't like your
he's
smiles. Stop doing that. I know that's the point, but I don't like it. It bugs me. It bugs me.
Ragnarok begins. Kratos and Atreus explain that they do not wish to start a war, and only hope that by freeing Tyr...
I know that's the point. I'm saying I don't like your point, huh? You guys are bullying a small child. Me, I'm the small child. Smile.png. No.
Tyr, who the giants trusted, they may be able to get answers regarding Loki's true purpose. Kratos and Atreus then take Tyr to Sindri's house, where he settles in. Later, Atreus
Seeing it back now.
Kratos and Atreus then take Tyr to Sindri's house, where he
Seeing it back now, and Odin's just kicking it. He's like, damn, these guys got a pretty nice of it. How much you guys pay for rent for here? I'm kind of your landlord. Why am I seeing any of this? Like,
settles in. Later, Atreus sneaks out of the house to search for Freya, hoping to mend a bridge between them before Ragnarok. Sindri discovers this and agrees to help, as long as they stop to speak with Jormungandr first. The two then go to Midgard and find the World Serpent, who Atreus calls in the ancient giant tongue. This awakens Jormungandr, and when Atreus asks the beast about Loki and Fimbulwinter, it simply responds with Ironwood, before leaving just as quickly as he appeared. Atreus and Sindri then head off to find Freya, with the boy eventually sneaking
Love that guy, my goat.
While he tries to approach her calmly, Freya traps Atreus in a growth of vines. Atreus tries to reason with Freya, but her grief and rage over the death of her son Balder make her resistant to any attempts at reconciliation. However, as Atreus listens to her and offers genuine remorse, he begins to break through her anger to redirect it towards their common enemy, Odin.
Grew.
Freya ultimately releases Atreus when he reveals that he's the last remaining giant. Atreus then asks Freya for her assistance as the former Queen of the Valkyries, whom he and his father freed from Odin's curse during their previous journey, if they had the patience and skill. Freya's patience runs thin once Atreus mentions Tyr's survival, which she denies could be possible, as she throws him from her home, barricading him out with more vines.
Apparently Tyr just hung out in the room all the time. So, I mean, that was their reasoning. But yeah, like they were there all the time. So you would assume if he's just in his room, I don't know, maybe he's meditating, maybe he had pretty good excuses, or maybe he just had very good timing. But yeah.
On their way back to Sindri's house, the dwarf confides in Atreus about a dark event from his past. Long ago, Brock had actually died in an accident at the forge. Sindri, unable to accept the loss of his brother, traveled to the Lake of Souls in Alfheim and stole him back, or at least 3 of his 4 soul parts. Brock then awoke, thinking he was simply knocked out, a lie that Sindri allowed him to believe ever since. Atreus and Sindri then agree that they both need to come clean with their respective family members. The entire group then reconvene at Sindri's house, and Kratos and Tyr decide to go to Alfheim to learn more about Ragnarok from another shrine near the Temple of Light. As they head out, Kratos—
It's kind of fucked that Mimir can't eat anymore and taste delicious food, and they make him just watch. Like, hey, remember this delicious stuff? Watch.
Meets Ratatoskr, a squirrel who guards the World Tree.
Love that guy too. Didn't talk to him much, but I love him.
Ratatoskr assists Kratos and Atreus by giving them a realm seed, which allows them to open the pathway to other realms. The trio then enter Alfheim in search of the shrine of Groa, the giant sorceress who had foreseen Ragnarok. When they reach it, Atreus opens the shrine and they learn that Groa's vision of Ragnarok was incomplete, as she was interrupted and killed by Odin before she could fully understand its implications. The shrine then reveals the word Ironwood, which Atreus recognizes from his short conversation with Jormungandr. Tyr reveals that Ironwood is the fabled sanctuary for giants. The shrine then shows the vision of Tyr fighting in Ragnarok, further displaying that Odin dies as Asgard gets destroyed, while all the other realms survive. This revelation leads them to realize that Groa had lied to Odin about the outcome of Ragnarok, giving Atreus hope that they can somehow defeat Odin and win the massive war. As the trio leave the shrine, Tyr rejects the idea of leading the enemy to destroy Asgard, but Kratos shelves the conversation for later as they make a daring escape out of the Temple of Light.
I forgot Tyr was there to see that prophecy. So he kind of had an idea. Technically, should have had an upper hand the entire time. I forgot he actually saw that. Because my thinking was, why didn't Kratos and Atreus just have full faith in the prophecy? But they also assumed, or Kratos also assumed, that it was his own death. Just a lot of miscommunication here on all of the prophecy shit. So, I mean, that's their fault. They need to lock in better. 99 stream streak is gone. RIP, F for the chat.
They then return to Sindri's house, where the group discuss their next course of action. Atreus, emboldened by the knowledge he has gained, is more determined than ever.
That shit looks delicious, I'm not gonna lie.
As Loki, a champion in the prophecy. Kratos, however, holds firm that his son must instead stay safe, causing the boy to storm off to his room.
Teenagers,
As his
am I
anger
right?
begins to take over him, a protective Sindri advises him to sleep to calm him. His anger begins to take over him. A protective Sindri advises him to
That's
sleep
so cool.
to calm
That
himself
transition's
down.
so cool.
Atreus takes
Just
this advice.
not there
and as
than
he
there.
drifts off, he hears a voice call his name, Loki. He then finds himself transported to a mysterious, sand-filled realm where he sees a vision of a wooden mask that vanishes.
He does,
Or he's
actually.
forced to relive the moments from his previous journey where he struggled with the darker aspects of his godhood,
Dwarf teepees were
including
crazy.
killing Modi.
There it is.
Suddenly, Atreus finds himself in a forest where he encounters a wolf that leads him to a hidden painting. As Atreus inspects it, he's startled by a voice that sneaks up on him. Atreus looks to find a young giant named Angrboda, who reveals that she's been waiting for him a long time.
Little
and offers
giants.
to guide him through the region he's now in, the Ironwood. After Angrboda leads Atreus to her treehouse within the Ironwood,
I did say it already in my playthrough, but I'm going to apologize again right here. Angrboda, I thought you were going to be the most evil bitch of all evil bitches. Turns out you're just a nice kid. W.U. Sorry for ever doubting you and calling you a bitch right now. That was... Anyways.
she shows him to his very own shrine, the Shrine of Loki,
Anyways.
which he can now see
My
fully
fault.
unobscured.
Won't happen again.
Atreus then sees
Until the
depictions of
next game
Kratos'
I
death
play.
at Thor's hands, as well as himself aligning with Odin. Overwhelmed with emotion once again, Atreus transforms, this time into a wolf, but Angrboda calms him down and helps him regain
How
control.
precious. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's back up real quick. Hanging out with Odin.
Overwhelmed with emotion.
Hanging out with Odin. Sees his father's death. So she painted it wrong in the scenario? I don't understand what we're seeing here. Because that is most definitely Kratos. So the confusion is confusing.
As well as himself aligning with Odin. Overwhelmed with emotion once again, Atreus transforms, this time into a wolf, but Angrboda
Such a
calms
sick
him down
transformation.
and helps him regain control, despite her insistence that this is the way things must be. Atreus refuses to accept this foretold future. To help him
Thank you,
process
Lucas.
what he's learned, Angrboda teaches Atreus about his Jotun heritage and how to harness his abilities. During their time together, she notices and informs Atreus that there's a soul trapped inside of his knife. Finally, Angrboda fulfills her role in the prophecy and reveals to Atreus that the remaining giants never truly died.
You'd think if you're going to prophesize about something super important, you'd cover all your bases. That's why I'm just like, was it just wrong? Like, Angrboda's prophecy was just wrong? Like, flat out wrong? And that's why everything ended up the way it was? Or did they just absolutely defy fate? Because according to the giants, the other giants, the non-Angrboda giants, everything was right. The words of the prophecy was probably something along the lines of, the father will die in the arms of the son. Oh, that makes sense. It was a miscommunication. My Ethernet sucks, dude. It probably does suck. It probably does suck. And your fucking Wi-Fi something. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. What's up, Johnson? Welcome. Well, hello and goodbye. I know you ain't sticking around for this. I have a bump in the back of my head. It hurt. I scratched it. I love you. Congrats on licensing. Thank you, sir. I'm staying. You don't gotta stay, brother. I was just joking. I was just fucking with you. This is our nerd shit. And you always call me a geek for my geek shit. Time check. 5:53. 6:30. Dinner is at 6:30. We've got about 30 more minutes that we can watch of this. And guess what? There's 50 left. I appreciate you. Here to support. He better fucking be. ! Watch time. Fuck that guy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're not going to talk about the fact that he's got 9 hours of watch time in my stream. Nope. I've got 19 days in his. But who cares about Little? Yeah, he's the famous one here, okay? He's the famous. I'm kidding. Completely kidding. I'm kidding. Who's counting? There's a watch time. If you go ! Watch time? Wait, what does it show on my own? 524 hours. That is the most you can have because I've always been watching myself. So there's that. I've always been watching, and that's important. Hey, you guys lock it on that.
Hello, princess. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
They got a little spooky. 524. It's ever since it got. I don't. When did it get? Why is it even 524? Yo, Cat Meow with a tier 1, tossing some support. Mucho love from me to you. Thank you for being a part of the Critter Crew. Enjoy this emoji ad-free viewing. Little love it, share, all that fun stuff. Critter W's in the chat. Lady Valpo with the 1.17 watch out. Woo! Woo! I don't know how many hours that's been. I think I might have. Maybe I reset it. Maybe I reset it from when I initially started again. That might have been the case. Mouseketeer's OG Kush over here. Following since May 6, 2020. It has to have reset for sure. I don't know when I reset it. It might have been when I started initially on this YouTube journey. Mouse, we've been doing pretty good on YouTube. I got like 19K subs on YouTube right now and counting. We just hit 19K the other day. Actually, we hit it when I was asleep, like the day before my test, I think, right? So there's that. What are we at right now? What are we at right now? YouTube Studio. We're at 19,065. W us, chat. Hey, you and I together. W us. We just keep winning. I'm saying. I noticed I fucking squealed when I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Just having fun doing random shit. Congrats on getting your electrician. I appreciate you, Lady Valpo. I appreciate you. Life-changing. It was like... Everything's been life-changing. If you have 524 and I have 479, you must have not done so many or reset it. I probably reset it. No, I don't know, because I have no idea when it would have been reset. Because you have been... Even into my indie games and stuff like that, you kind of joined later? How many... Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't figure it out. I have to figure that out. But we got that. We got our 19K subs. We're almost at 20K. I don't even know what else has been happening. We had a great stream, 900 viewer rate the other day. Like a bunch of tattoos of my little whatchamacallits and doohickeys. It's been a crazy week, to say the least. Probably one of the most insane weeks of my life. The most insane stream I've ever had. Passing my license. Everything. Everything's just fucking amazing. Life's pretty good. NKYS. Never kill yourself. Life's worth living. So near the end of FNAF 2. I don't even remember when that was, to be honest with you. All right, chat. We got another 30 minutes or so. No, not even. Another 20 minutes or so. We'll finish the last 30 minutes tomorrow before we do Resident Evil. Tomorrow will be a shorter just chatting section. So proud you deserve it all and more. I appreciate you. I freaking love you guys. I want you guys to know that. I freaking love all you guys. All right, press and play.
They simply left their bodies behind to trick Asgard, as their souls were hidden away. These souls were then placed inside of marbles, the same ones that Atreus had been finding inside of the shrines.
If I ever die and I get like placed inside a marble or some kind of random object and you start yo-yoing with my soul, just know I'm figuring out a way to haunt you. You start fucking like it's like a big loogie and like whatever that movie was. What is it called? Big Daddy? I don't even know. I'll be real upset. Leave my soul alone. Stop pulling on that shit like you're jacking me off. That's crazy. Sorry, that was an insane sentence. My bad. Take that back.
Is
My fault.
To be the keeper of these
Shouldn't have said that.
A role that he is reluctant to accept. Believing her role in his destiny to be over, Angrboda takes Atreus back to her treehouse to send him off. On their way, Atreus learns of Angrboda's grandmother, Grilla, who was driven
Be
mad
careful
when
with
the
souls,
girl's
boy.
parents died, isolating herself while stealing the souls of the animals inhabiting the Ironwood. When she captures one of the wolves in the forest, Atreus feels a responsibility to rescue it.
Absolutely.
While searching Grilla's house for the
Atreus.
wolf, they find the lifeless body of a large snake. Atreus gets the idea to place one of the giant's souls into the snake and grabs a marble from his pouch. While Angrboda questions this decision, Atreus releases the soul from the marble, and she helps him lead it into the snake.
Jormungandr. I don't think I'll ever get tired of the time loop thing. Or like something that we're doing now is going to circle into this whole entire story that kind of just keeps telling itself over and over again. It's just so cool to me. Whether it's like liminal space shit or whatever else that just keeps circling back around, I never get tired of a story that ends up in the time loop. I don't know why. It's like one of those few story tropes that I can't get over. It's freaking cool. It's always fun to see things lead back and keep going in a big circle.
However, once the snake awakens,
bye fish. It's because Thor's sending him back in time.
away,
Yeah.
leaving Atreus unsure if he made the right
It's
decision
crazy.
to use the marble. Feeling like he let down his mother, the boy gives the marble
So
back
cool.
to Angrboda, asking her to refer to him as Atreus.
He helped with
not
Ragnarok.
Loki. Unfortunately, the pair's search is interrupted when Grilla arrives home. The two are able to free the wolf, but are forced to sneak around the giant old woman when she spots them.
Actual giant.
Atreus and Angrboda manage to overpower Grilla, destroying her cauldron of captured souls, leaving the elder giant devastated. Enraged, Grilla demands that Angrboda leave, threatening to stab her granddaughter with a shard of the broken cauldron.
That's it.
Atreus, ready to defend his friend, draws his bow to attack, but Angrboda stops him, urging that they just leave. As they do, Grilla bitterly shouts that Angrboda is nothing, and that even Atreus will forget about her, as soon he'll be too busy mourning his own father's death. Outside, Atreus
they all
tries to
misunderstood
console
it
a
then.
heartbroken Angrboda, who reveals that despite her grandmother's harshness, she has continued to care for her in small ways, insisting that while Grilla is lost, she's not a monster.
Yes, the fuck she is. Did we see the way she was hanging up them animals, torturing them, throwing them around? Yes, the fuck she is a monster. Oh, she was nice to me one time. She made me some soup. She knitted me a sweater. Bitch, she was torturing animals, stealing their souls. How is that not? That's textbook definition monster. Right? When do you usually stream? 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I do a bunch of random variety shit, like racks like this, or horror games, or whatever the heck else. And what are we doing this week? Oh, we have UCN FNAF game. But yeah, it's usually the same time. And until I go back to work, which probably in the next week or two. I don't know. Actually, don't even know. I don't even know what my new schedule's gonna be. Fuck, I gotta figure out so much stuff. Oh my god, it's been 5 months of streaming full time. It's crazy.
To lift her spirits, Atreus suggests a race back to her treehouse. The girl agrees, and they dash through the forest.
What is the name, Tuna? Is it Angrboda? Because I'm...
Atreus in his wolf form, and Angrboda atop her fox. Back at the treehouse, Angrboda gives Atreus a marble inscribed with his mother's name, Laufey. And while it's empty, he can use it to navigate the dream world and find his way back home. Atreus reassures her that they will meet again, and that he will change his fate to protect his father. He clutches the marble, thinks of home, and drifts off to sleep.
First name a Trexler, and their middle name is T-Rex. Do they know that kid's gonna grow up to be an adult? Probably a serial killer with a name like that. What the? I'm leaving that in the video, for the record. That is an insane name worthy of staying in this lore video. Trexler T-Rex. What the fuck?
When Atreus awakens,
no, I don't have a middle name.
His and his father's home in Midgard, now surrounded by Hellwalkers due to the broken protective stave.
He's gonna go around telling people he just gets called Tex. That's a kid that has to make up his own nickname. He's gonna be like, oh, I have friends that they call me Tex. I'm like, what's your real name? I'm like, oh, everybody calls me Tex. Don't even worry about it. I'm like, okay, well, sure, all right. If everybody calls you,
he attempts to use Laufey's marble to return to Sindri's house.
Wrong home, buddy.
Is forced to flee when a Hellwalker nearly breaks into the cabin.
Stupid.
After fighting off the undead attackers, Atreus heads to the Mystic Gateway.
Hella cool and just own it. It's hard to do as a child.
Only to bump into his father, Kratos, as he steps through from the other side. Kratos, both furious and worried, demands to know where Atreus has been, revealing that 2 days have passed since he disappeared.
I can't even focus on lore. I'm too busy laughing at chat right now. For us to be a paleontologist when he grows up, dude, it would be, you're like forcing him into a career. Dude, it's one thing to own. It's one thing, yo, SEALs! Good that we pause anyways. It all works out. SEALs! Can I get a shout out for SEALs? How was your stream, SEALs? What did you do? Welcome, Raiders. My friends call me Drew, not even part of just some random off-the-wall shit. Some people should not be able to choose for others. I think once you get to the age of like 21, you should be legally allowed to change your... 18 as well. I don't know. And maybe. You should be... God! Welcome in, Raiders. Chat. If you see the little heart at the top of the chat, make sure you follow Seals Lady. Really cool person. Fuck. Dude, I'm just talking and it feels like a wood chip just gets stuck in my throat. Maybe it's because I force my voice all the time and my voice doesn't actually sound like this. I think it's time to reveal to you guys what I truly sound like. Make sure you guys follow Seals Lady. Toss her a follow. We love her. Dog, don't die. I'm not dying. We love Seals Lady, though. Toss her a follow. Oh, hell. I like this better. Right. Lucas, weren't you the one who dressed up as a cat lady in my Discord one time? Sounds the same? Right. True. What a silly goose. This is a silly little guy. Just a silly lady. Silas, thank you for the raid. What did you get up to? What was your stream, man? It was a maid, get it right. A maid cat lady, was it not? I could have sworn you had cat ears. Or maybe my internet history is just wild right now, but I could have sworn it was you. I could have sworn it was you. Mm-hmm. Stop it. You guys don't tell me how to live my life. Axolotl! I keep saying that weird. I've been obsessed with water park sims, so doing that. I've been watching a couple people play that. It's pretty interesting. It's also... The ragdoll physics is hilarious when people jump off of really tall diving boards for no reason. I can't say that either. It's okay. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I agree with you, Valpo. I agree with you. I probably did. It's so comfy, and yeah, I like pushing people. You push the people. You don't even just... Okay, that's you. You're a murderer. Critter gave birth in someone's Sims. This is true. And it was weird. Oxylotted. It's an axolotl. Axolotl. She added a bunch of letters. Don't listen to her. She's a liar. I probably did have cat ears on. I wouldn't doubt it. I was editing the YouTube video the other day, the Minecraft video. This is the end of the day. It's probably a couple weeks ago. But I was editing the Minecraft video where you guys kept telling me to go into the Discord. You're like, you want to be in the Discord? What makes you think I want to see Lucas in a maid outfit? Huh? What makes you think? I tase someone in a pool. I think a side effect of that is death. But what do I know? I'm a water park owner, not a doctor. Yeah. Yeah. What is your water park name and location? Because, like, yeah. We're all totally going to go there. I'm definitely not going to mark it off my list. No. What is the name? It's going to be some crazy shit. Wet Dreamland. Maybe I'm going to go there on accident. Maybe I'm going there on accident now that I realize it. We might not intentionally be there, but I'll accidentally get there, Seals, and I better not get tased in a pool. Come in, that's allowed. Could be denied. Oh, fuck. Okay. You guys, hey, some of you guys are funny. At least it's not a dry dreamland. Yeah, that would be boring. Nobody wants that. That would hurt and cause a rash, probably. Involuntarily. A little involuntary wet dreamland. Twitch is one of the greatest websites ever. Like, despite the website's problems, we get to laugh about stupid shit like this, and that's awesome. So anyways, catch me on kick.com/critter from here on out. That's where I'll be streaming. Wait, I wonder... Oops, something went wrong. How does this work? Tiffany Stanley, my journey from broke to money. Everybody model my this is the very first stream I've ever clicked on in Kick, and I'm scared to show it. Oh, it's just her face. It's just her face. I thought it was gonna be so much worse. I'm not gonna lie, because it said he had to be 18 or older, and I was like, I'm scared.
I just don't think short hair would be nice.
Okay, hold up. Shut up. I clicked on your thing to see what the link is supposed to be. Oh, I typed the link wrong. Kick.com/critter. Should I make a critter kick just to have it stolen? That would be hilarious. That way nobody can make this and then become bigger than me. Because what if they make a kick and they become bigger than critter? Then when you Google critter, I won't show up. It'll be kick.com/critter. My YouTube and my Twitch won't show up. All my video, it'll be another asshole. I have to wait in for likes and things, but I'll be lurking. Love your TikToks. I'm still getting likes and a comment on your stream. Sales, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you again for the raid. Mucho love. Hope you have a wonderful rest period in between all the lights and craziness and whatever else. Thank you again. Chat, make sure you follow Seals. Awesome streamer. Awesome human being. Just made a kick with your name. And I gotta pay you to get it back, don't I? Huh? Oh, I know what's going on over here. I know what's going on. All right, we gotta lock the fuck in. We're locking the fuck out. Josh coming in with the tier 1. 2 beautiful months. Right when I got it locked in. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for being a part of the Critter Crew. Enjoy those emotes, the ad-free viewing, live it, cherish it, all that fun stuff. Josh, my God, appreciate you, dude. Mucho love. Mucho love from me to you and your big butt. That'd be dancing, that twerk emote. That shit go crazy. That shit go crazy. It really do. All right, we got like 10 minutes and then I gotta leave. We could end it right here. Oh, but then we got 45 minutes tomorrow. Oh my God, we're not very good with this. We're not very good with this. Critter W Blazer. Did I watch that, by the way? Did you see the word today? Have you seen any of the words today, Josh? Good fucking luck is all I'm saying. Good fucking luck. I see the way you spell normal as words, brother. Not to spoil or anything, but you're just not very smart. I'm sorry. I can't insult you when you just gave me a tier 1. That's me. I was saying these things to talk shit, but you just subscribed. So I'm gonna refrain from doing that until later. Bamboozle hurt me. I feel like that one actually hit somewhere soft in my heart. We might just call it here, chat. We might just call it here. An hour 55. Actually, no. We're gonna get to 2 hours exactly. We're getting to 2 hours exactly. All right, hold on, chat. We're locking in for just a second longer.
From the other side.
Hold on. I'm backing up a bit.
But is forced to flee when a Hellwalker nearly breaks into the cabin. After fighting off the undead attackers,
the combos of
Atreus
Atreus were so cool.
To reach the realm between realms, only to bump into his father Kratos as he steps through from the other side.
You should hear the Jaws thing.
Kratos, both furious and worried, demands to know where Atreus has been, revealing that 2 days have passed since he disappeared in the night.
It's crazy.
Atreus tries to lie, claiming he was visiting Fenrir, but Kratos sees right through it, insisting that Atreus never lied to him again. Atreus retorts by stating that if both his mother and father could hide things from him, it's only fair that he can do the same. Their argument is cut short by another wave of Hellwalkers, and immediately after, a Valkyrie suddenly attacks Kratos. Recognizing Freya beneath this Valkyrie armor, Kratos hesitates,
dude, she looks so sick,
giving her
though.
the upper hand. Atreus, panicked, transforms into his bear form and attempts to help, but Kratos holds him back, reminding him that Freya is still their friend. As Kratos calms Atreus down, the boy returns to his human form, and Freya recognizes this act of kindness. Instead of continuing to fight, Freya instead demands a temporary alliance with Kratos and Mimir, seeking their help in Vanaheim to break Odin's curse that binds her to Midgard.
What a good guy, Kratos.
Brock and Sindri then arrive, and Kratos sends his son with Sindri back to the dwarf's home to stay safe while he assists Freya. Brock,
dude, is that makeup? Has she had that the entire time since Baldur died? Like, she just...
with Sindri back to the dwarf's home to stay safe while he assists Freya.
Like, she never once decided, you know what I should do? Go to that river nearby and wash my face. Sorry, it's God of War lore, not, like, wash away makeup shit and whatever the fuck else we're supposed to be focused on. But still, like, it confused me.
Brock then joins Kratos,
W armor, though.
Freya,
W armor.
and Mimir on their journey to Vanaheim, helping them navigate between the realms.
Beautiful.
Freya, still bound by Odin's
Vanaheim,
curse,
best realm.
can only manifest in her bird-like form while outside of Midgard.
Better rate the God of War realms as well. I haven't played the originals, but at least the Ragnarok ones.
Upon arriving in Vanaheim, they're confronted by Freyr, the Vanir, the other tribe of
Vanaheim,
gods, god of
S-tier.
rain and fertility, who is also Freya's brother. Initially, Freyr greets them with hostility, capturing Brock and viewing Kratos as a threat. However, Freya quickly intervenes, explaining that Kratos, Brock, and Mimir are her allies, and that they share a common enemy in Odin and the Aesir gods. With the misunderstanding cleared, Freyr releases Brock, and tensions ease. Brock decides to stay behind at Freyr's camp, where he reunites with another dwarf, Lunda. Meanwhile, Kratos and Freya continue their quest, tracking down the source of her curse. On their way, the pair bond over their similar plights, with Kratos telling Freya about his own brother, Deimos, as well as the loss of his daughter, Calliope. Their journey...
Okay, yeah, that's the bit of lore and story that I heard originally. But the details now being known, again, just changes it quite a bit. This whole interaction, though, was kind of just like a pissing contest of who had it worse. Kratos, I think, wins that. But I am curious to know Freya's backstory a little bit more. Although the games don't really align with mythology all too perfectly, I think I might actually be interested in seeing what she was talking about in regards to like her traumatic past.
Eventually leads them to the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil, where they encounter
Yggdrasil,
Nithog,
such a cool
the
boss,
ancient
coolest boss,
multi-dimensional dragon and caretaker
coolest
of
boss.
the roots. When Freya and Kratos attempt to destroy the cursed roots that Odin used to bind Freya to Midgard,
so sick.
Nithog attacks, compelled to defend the roots and stop them. A fierce battle then ensues, with Kratos struggling against
The
Nithog's
synergy
power.
goes crazy here
As
too.
Freya works to lift the curse, Nithog opens a portal between realms, trying to continue its attack. Kratos manages to hold the creature in place with the Blades of Chaos, buying Freya just enough time to close the portal. Left with no other choice, Freya severs Nithog's head,
sick.
killing it. After the fight, Freya is able to rush over to the roots and unbind them, fully lifting the curse and granting her the freedom to once again travel across the 9 realms. When Kratos asks where they stand, Freya acknowledges that while she'll always carry the pain of Baldur's death, their shared goal of defeating Odin takes precedence. The two then fully reconcile, shaking hands and agreeing to move forward as allies.
Power couple. To this day, the only couple imaginary or whatever the heck else I've ever friggin' shipped. Because you know what? I finally got it. I was like, why do people always ship? Do you see these two do this little handshake right here? And you're like, you know what? I get it now. It makes sense.
The pair then
have a baby, damn it.
To Freyr's camp.
The ultimate baby.
And Hati in the skies above. Once they arrive at camp, Freya meets her brother face to face, and finally makes amends with him as well, strengthening their alliance for the war to come. After potentially helping Freya destroy some of her old belongings from her wedding with Odin, Kratos returns to Sindri's home with his new ally.
All right, what do we got here? 159.36. Baldrus is a sick name.
Back at Sindri's
name
home,
him T-Rex.
Kratos finds Atreus and Sindri in the midst of a heated argument. Kratos interrupts and continues to press Atreus for the truth of where he disappeared to, demanding to know if he went to Asgard. Atreus reveals that he had contemplated the idea of going to Asgard, but only to act as a spy against Odin. Despite Mimir, Freya, Tyr, Brock, and Sindri all urging him not to go, Atreus' emotions get the best of him once again as he transforms into his bear form and runs away, returning to Midgard through the Mystic Gateway.
Realistically, looking back at it now, there's just no way he should have gone anywhere. You got Freya, Odin, you got oh, I guess Tyr wouldn't have done anything. That would have been insane. Tyr saying, no, don't go. Yeah. But Freya, I said Odin. I got the wording wrong there. You have Freya and Kratos there. Kratos by himself should be enough to just like jump really far or something and grab him and hold him down. Like no problem. And Freya assistance as well. Like all of a sudden Freya's vines and shit don't work. They can't magically come through the ground and grab this motherfucker, huh? Like, what are we talking about here? It's just, we didn't really try as hard as we should have. But Tyr saying, no, Atreus, don't do it. No, don't go. Guys, I'm going to go back to my room and close my door. But Atreus, don't go, no. I'll see you guys later, though. I'm going back to my room. Going to close this door permanently. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, we're at 2 hours, chat. We're going to call for now. There's still 45 minutes left. What I'm probably going to do tomorrow is just do the spelling bee and then lock in on some lore. It'll be another long day. I got to finish this one. 45 minutes means about an hour because I got to talk and yap and whatnot. And then Resident Evil lore. Let's see real quick. I think it's an hour 50. Hour fucking something. Is Hitler on my front line? This FNAF there is 56 minutes. We have so much shit to watch. You still have the last SMP Earth video too. I do have that. Although I'm gonna be honest with you, SMP Earth didn't quite pull me in like I thought it would. The first video did. The rest, I don't know those personalities enough to really be enticed by it. Does that make sense? Like I don't know those people, so it wasn't super entertaining to me to see them bully Tommy in it because I'm like, I don't know who this kid is. It's kind of fun. I mean, it wasn't bad by any means, but it also wasn't like peak shit. This is an hour 51. That's fair enough. I do think I want to finish the series, but I might actually not even post that if I'm being honest with you. I don't want to just post things for the sake of it being Technoblade if I wasn't fully into it. You know, I would like to do things specifically because of whatever else. Tomorrow's Resident Evil video is an hour 51, and then after that we play games. Not after that, but like the next few days or whatever else we play games. We still have some Resident Evil DLC we have to do as well. 7 and 8. I need to get a weekend for that. All right, 2 hours for this video, chat. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Actually, can we raid out? We just got to raid from Seals. I don't want to waste that. I don't want to say goodbye to those people. Who the hell are we raiding? Anybody got a suggestion? What is happening? Why am I logged out of Twitch? I'm literally logged into Twitch right now. How's that work? I don't fucking know. Okay, we're back at it again. Oh, Snacks just went live. Sure. Who's alive? Ponies. Snacks is on. We could raid Snacks. We could raid Ponies. Ponies is a streamer I found through Johnson. She's pretty cool. She's pretty chill. Avi, nah, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck all these people. Crunchy. Yapping with my homies Lil Squib. Gentle Wizard. That's a crazy viewer count range. 4 to 252. That's goated. Spicy Insanity Speedrun. Love that guy. Critterussi, what's up, Cherry? Critterussi. Chat, we're gonna raid ponies. I like snacks. I think we raided him a couple times in the past little bit. Good eye, beautiful peoples. Love you all. Stay safe. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys are all beautiful, normal, awesome, amazing people. She's playing a game where she can't scream right now. Oh wait, Silent Breath? She is. She has to be very quiet. Came right at the end. Sad it'd be that way sometimes. Chat, say hello to ponies. She's gotta stay quiet, so it's even funnier that you could do that. So if you guys could do a little bit of a favor for me. I met ponies through she followed me on TikTok. She knows Johnson. She knows whatever else. She's cool. Hung out a little bit last time. We got more lore to watch tomorrow. But in the meantime, we say goodbye. And I'll catch you guys then. Cherry, I appreciate you. Fuck, I'm not sub. You're good, you're good. I'll catch you guys. I gotta get going. I love y'all. Peace. Peace. Don't sub, Cherry. Don't sub, Cherry. Stream ending. All good, illy.